What if Deku found love through music? To something deeper. Her song became his courage.
Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Fell in Love with Kyoka Jiro in School Movie. Before we start, please go support Aaron Nora 6 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistaken character's gender, but of course Deku is a male. There are only two ways. In this theatrical world, there are only two simple scenarios. Where 80% of the world's population has developed superpowers from flying through the air to superhuman strength, also known as singularities. Well, there's also the other 30% of the population. These are characterized by having no singularities. Being one of them means two things. Abuse and simply being a hindrance in people's lives. Izuku's POV. Always the same old loneliness. Ever since my teacher died, nothing makes sense. Looking around, training on a tree, staring at the horizon, and discreetly robbing banks to eat luxuriously, nothing out of the ordinary. Although sometimes I run into a hero or two doing their thing, and bam. Moments later, they always fall. I'm not such a big fan of killing people, and I would really like a different life, but that will never be achieved. Common day. 7 a.m. Wake up in my big sweet home, an abandoned building on the outskirts of town. 7 o'clock to 8 a.m. contemplating the abyss. 8:30 a.m. singing to the rhythm of pumped up kicks while I take a shower, well, as long as my stomach doesn't growl. 9 a.m. 10 a.m. I look for something to eat with the money I have left over, and if I don't have any money I'll kill a person or two who passes by. I usually just ask them for the money nicely, but the idiots always want to confront me with their quicks. I love it when they do that, it saves time. 10:30 a.m. 4 p.m. I train my physical body with the same tree that I kicked when my teacher was still there. What memories. 4 p.m. 7 p.m. I meditate on my day and usually also to calm my canine impulses, but I'll explain that later. Now let's finish my itinerary. 7 p.m. 9 p.m. I train my only and fast that she inherited from me. Just when I fall asleep, I always wonder how I ended up like this. 16 years ago. My misfortune began when I was born. It was such a quiet night that no one expected the worst. Doctor? This is bad, bring pads now. Bring paracetamol. The doctor desperately shouted into the air while Inko was giving birth. Doctor, this is bad, your blood pressure is dropping considerably and paracetamol will not help in these cases, announced a nurse assistant. Doctor? Damn. You have to make an effort, ma'am. Don't fall asleep, it's just a little bit more. Doctor? Damn it. I spent my whole life studying for this to happen, no matter that I'm going to save the child. 15 seconds passed and the entire room was very quiet except for a newborn baby crying boldly. The depressing aura of each person in the room could be felt. 4 years later. Izuku's POV. My father raised me very coldly since I can remember. It's true that my mother Inko died in childbirth, but that doesn't mean he's guilty, right? And POV. Kid, come here, we're leaving right now, you hear me? With a loud scream and a melancholy face. Yes dad, I'm going with a big smile. Today is a very special day for me. Today is the day where I will know what superpower I will have. I couldn't sleep because of the excitement. I will be like my great hero Almight. Or so I thought. Doctor? Unfortunately we have to tell you, the child's caregiver, that he does not have quick. Father? This has to be a joke, right? Right. He screams so loud and uncontrollably. Doctor? Or it's not a joke, he just has a defect in one part of his body, although we would have to do very expensive studies to determine what it is, that doesn't take away the fact that he was born without quicks. Izuku. Father, with crystalline eyes and a super sad look. Father. Inko's death, her sacrifice was in vain, tell me it's not true, holding Izuku's neck tightly, tell me. Doctor. Enough. Hitting the boy who considered himself a father. The young father stopped for a moment and began to hum something meaningless. Father. Hey kid, stay here, I'll go get some water, I won't be long. And those were the last words he said to me back then. He never came back. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 3 hours passed. Izuku. Doctor, I'm hungry. Doctor. Oh, are you still here? Kid, come on, we have a perfect place for people like you. Izuku. Seriously. Immediately after he fell asleep. Doctor. Nurse, take the child to the testing lab. I think he'll be useful for a while. Nurse. Yes sir, holding the child in her hands. Oh poor ugly little thing, he's so young for this. After 4 hours. Izuku. Waking up, where am I, what is that? He saw clearly that he was in a white room with chains around him. Doctor. Heroes are so conceited, they talk about helping people, protecting them, and look here, a poor child without quicks, said that doctor with such an ironic nod that it left poor Izuku perplexed. Izuku. What's going on? He couldn't finish the whole sentence when a needle was stuck in his leg. Doctor. Life is so cruel, quirks are mutations in my opinion, I know how yours could wake up, it's so simple," looking at Izuku who was screaming in pain. Days passed, hours, minutes, 5 years later. Doctor. Log, the specimen does not seem to be special, its DNA is from an ordinary man, but on the other hand its resistance to the DNA of a fox is so compatible, although I also put a cat in there causing the cursed mutation, that does not matter at all, it already passed the electricity test, combustion and other tests. Its eyes show no anomalies, and it is clearly a waste of time. Nurse. Doctor, you forgot that you had an appointment today at 3 in the afternoon, she said in a honeyed voice. Doctor. Phew, well there's nothing to do, look, even with everything I put him through, he didn't wake up even a quick, I changed his DNA, and even so, this is clearly a waste of time. Nurse. And what do you want me to do, throw him in the woods? She said in a funny way, making a comic scene. Doctor. A classic, giving him an injection to put him to sleep. Nurse knows what to do, right? Nurse. No, are you serious? With such an ironic voice that everything seemed like a joke. Doctor, yes. I'm serious, make sure of it, making a gesture with his hand, if you allow me, I have a patient to treat. After that conversation, that nurse threw him into the woods without any mercy, she kicked him in the stomach and ran away. 15 minutes passed, and there were no signs of life, he was finished. What do we see here, is it a child? Izuku. Standing up and falling unconscious again. Hey. Wake up, it's already dawn, wake up. Izuku. Getting up from the scare, after that he looked at his foot, it was chained so he couldn't escape. Oh, but what do we have here, how cute, and his tail is so cute. Izuku. He hadn't talked to anyone in years, he had forgotten his vocabulary, pointing upwards. Yes, tail pointing towards the boy's back. Izuku. Tail. Looking behind him, to find an adorable black and green tail, just like his hair. Ahaha, and to think you didn't know what a tail was, throwing himself on the floor laughing out loud, you should have seen your reaction. Izuku. Reaction. Tail, reaction. He said while looking at his tail. You have to be kidding, right? Izuku simply lay back down, turning his back on her as she looked at all of the boy's scars. Oh my god, what happened to you? What happened to you, looking closely at each scratch, scar. Izuku. Tail, reaction, he said while trying to remember some words to socialize. I think I'll give you your space. Izuku had remembered some words to have stable communication, and although he remembered the rest, he didn't want to cry, well he couldn't do it anymore. The next day. Hey kid, have he said in a worried manner, it's a piece of bread, it's not much, but it should help you. Izuku. Thank you. Oh, so you know how to talk. She said in a slightly impressed way by what she had heard, then tell me what happened to you. After a long conversation, the boy spoke fluently. After a while, while playing with a ball of yarn, he told absolutely everything that had happened. Rina. Crying, it's a shame boy, your story, you suffered, she said, while Izuku lay down on her lap to calm her down. Years passed, 6 years, Izuku, he trained on a very large tree, kicking it, hitting it or even biting it sometimes, his training was in the morning, he learned to put his tail away, so as not to attract attention. Sometimes he meditated so that his canine instinct would not take over him. It should be noted that every 2 years he had to go with Rina to a migration area, just like birds do but different. Rina, let's eat, coughing, my age is killing me. Izuku. I'm going heading at a high speed. Izuku. You're not feeling very well today, go lie down, I'll eat and go shopping. He announced in an innocent and cute way. Rina. Don't worry, kid, it's part of life. Besides, I have something to scold you about. Izuku. What happened? So scared. Rina. Sit down, as she pointed to a table for 2, in a cabin in the woods. I hear that there were constantly missing people. Izuku. Playing dumb, missing persons, I don't know what you're talking about, while eating and making a happy expression for such good food. Rina. Don't play dumb with me, I know it was you. Izuku. It wasn't me, what makes you think that, while he got up to wash the dishes. Rina. Yeah, like I don't know you kill people, I don't know if it's for fun or out of necessity. Izuku. Need. He said openly. Rina. Look, I know you don't like people, and even less when they enter the forest, it's just that if you continue like this, you're going to raise suspicions among the heroes. Izuku. Heroes? Do they still exist? He said while washing the last dish. Rina. Jamp. I know that heroes are not popular, none came to your rescue, but that's why I want you to be one. Izuku. Me. One. And what makes you think I'll be one? I don't have the quick to be one, the green-haired man announced as he sat down again. Rina. That's what I wanted to talk about, Izuku-yo. She said sadly. I can't stay here anymore, you know. Izuku. What, but why? Did something happen? They threatened, the food ran out, what? Rina. calm down, it's nothing like that, I'm a 78-year-old woman, my time has come, I could die at any moment. She said openly. Izuku. You have to be kidding, right, with crystal clear eyes. Rina. No, not this time. Rina. Izuku, you know what my quick does, right? Izuku. Yes, I know, you teleport from one place to another, as long as you know the exact location or you have put an accessory of yours that you have used for years somewhere. Rina. And also Izuku, so that the young man continues. Izuku. Well, you can also create 2 portals that can connect, right? He said, sadly looking down. Rina. Yes, society has wanted to have my quick as a heroine, as well as a villain looking at the ceiling, so that she can dust off her past. Izuku. Besides, you haven't used it because of your age, right? He said while looking at her. Rina. You know what day it is today, right? She said while bringing a cake from the kitchen. Izuku. C.I. July 14th, while lowering his head so that his tears wouldn't be noticed. Rina. Blow out the candles, come let's celebrate. After a delicious chocolate cake with lemon slices. Rina. It's time for your gift, putting on a serious tone. Izuku. You didn't have to. He was interrupted by his teacher's hand. Rina. Standing up, the name is power. Izuku. Power is respect. Rina. Then say your name, young man. Izuku. My name is Izuku Midoriya, son of Inko and raised by Rina-sensei, he said while bowing. Rina had told him to practice this verse weeks before. Rina. Young man, I prostrate before you, ward, Prince Izuku. Izuku. Prince, just kiss Rina's hand. Rina. Now, just close your eyes and open your mouth, she said in a funny and melancholic way. In that act Izuku came to do it, while she gave him a super strange liquid, it was blood. Rina. Now I've left you, my quick young man, as she slowly fell. Izuku. Teacher. Going to pick her up in time before she fell. Rina. Izuku, bury me next to the lake, okay, be strong, eat well, and try not to kill people. Izuku. No, I won't do it, you don't, not now, sobbing at such an act. Rina. Izuku has grown like my son, coughing, I would like to see you grow a little more, see you get married, see my grandchildren. Izuku. Teacher, don't say that, I know you'll get through this, while trying to put him to bed. Rina. I wasn't alone, you were by my side all this time, hahaha, and to think that 6 years ago you didn't even know how to bathe alone. Izuku, be a hero, okay, putting her hand on the green-haired boy's cheek. Izuku. I promise I'll think about it, okay. Rina. That's enough for me, you will be my eyes, she said as her hand fell. Izuku. Teacher. Screaming while crying. Moments later, we could see such a beautiful scene, the boy with the distinctive hair was asleep on the floor while he waited for his teacher to wake up, well, that's what he hoped. 3 days passed and he had to bury her so delicately next to a lake, just as she had asked. He stood at his teacher's grave for many hours, days passed, and he returned to the grave. Perhaps out of respect, or perhaps simply wanting moments where he could remember when he and she had lived together. What is my way? It was July 26, weeks after such a tragedy happened. Izuku's POV. Lying in bed, I never imagined being alone again, although I did have an idea of what could happen. It's been a week since she died, the house looks terrible, I'd have to clean it at any moment. Plus the food ran out 4 days ago, and I'm starving. If she were still here, she'd give me a flip-flop to get me out, hahaha, right. To be a hero, I just remembered that a girl who was passing by had said that she did excellently on the UA entrance exam. That means that I already lost the chance to get in, although classes start on August 1st, can I still get in through recommendation or the late exam? Or that's what she said before she fainted. Then POV. Izuku. How irritating. Pouting at the sky. The late entrance exam is tomorrow and I have no idea what will appear on it. Izuku. I would have to study, do homework, play hero, he said the last part very sarcastically. The boy thought about it very intensely before making a decision. He knew that being a hero was something he wouldn't accept overnight, but time was running out, the test was tomorrow at 1 p.m. Izuku. Well, there's no point in being locked up here, getting up and then cleaning the whole house, leaving no trace of dirt. He would walk around at night, buying candy, food, and even watching a concert here and there, watching people enjoying themselves and dancing. He would simply sit in a tree, enjoying the moment and the band's music. Izuku. I never thought that a good song would be good enough to forget everything that happened, he announced with a whispering voice. True, yes. Izuku. Ah. Did I say it out loud? With extreme embarrassment. Yes, haha, I never imagined someone in this place. Izuku. Well, it looks amazing from here. Don't even think about it, I've been coming to these concerts forever and no one had ever sat in my place, pointing at the boy while laughing shyly. Izuku. Well, maybe it's because, said the green-haired boy, forget it, okay. And that. Why that attitude so suddenly? Watching him come down from the tree trying to cover his tail. Izuku. It's no use on his way home. Jiro, you can call me Jiro for now, I shouted nervously. Izuku. What's that for? Jiro, well, I felt that maybe we would meet again. Izuku. Don't confuse things, okay, I'm here for the music, you too, there's nothing to talk about walking towards the forest. Jiro. What a strange guy, and he didn't even tell me his name, rude, sticking his tongue in the air. Mika. Daughter, who are you talking to? He said while looking at her. Jiro. With no one, Mom, are we going back home? While she was leaving, I couldn't forget that strange conversation from minutes ago. Already at night, moments before going to bed. Izuku. Tomorrow will be a very hectic day, sighing at the ceiling. Hey, give me your wallet, was heard in the distance, this caused him to be unable to sleep. Izuku. Going out the window, you know what time it is, right? I'm trying to sleep. Ugh. Sleep. You better go, kid. Don't you see I'm busy? Girl. Help. With a broken voice. Izuku. Sighing, I think you'll die now, taking out a metal bat. Ugh. Unbeliever activating his quick, it allowed him to become a giant ogre. Izuku simply teleported to his back to give him a very strong blow to his legs, causing the giant to kneel on the ground. Ugh. What? Demo. Izuku. Teleporting to her face, with a voice so dark that even the girl began to escape, of course with her wallet. Moments later, police officers and reporters came across a corpse hanging from a tree, bruised, beaten, and bleeding to death. Holy. Oh my god. This part of town is so sadistic. The next morning. Mika. Kyoka, daughter, come have breakfast, today is your first day of school. Ayatoku. I'll wake her up, with a triumphant voice as he takes out his electric guitar. Jiro. No need, I'm already awake, and dad, the neighbors will come furious again. Ayatoku. They can't stand the Jiro style, big references. Mika. Quick, breakfast is on the table, while putting on the news channel. Another news, a brutal murder on the outskirts of the city, a red zone, is advised. Disclosure is advised when handling such images. Officers maintain that it was not a firearm, and based on what we've analyzed in the autopsy, it was a pure knife wound. Mika. Oh god. Staring at the TV in amazement. Mika. Kyoka, be careful when you go to school. We're lucky to live downtown. Ayatoku. Don't worry Mika, that happened on the outskirts, we're 7 hours away by train to get there. Mika. Yes, but what if the killer moved? Jiro. Don't worry, I'll go carefully, while grabbing the bread in his mouth. I'm leaving now. Mika. See you soon, daughter, waving her hand from side to side. Ayatoku. She's still a child, looking at her out of the corner of my eye. Meanwhile, with the green-haired guy. Izuku. Yawning, how dreamy. Seeing the broken clock in front of me, 8 AM, a few more hours. 4 hours later. Izuku. Damn the test. Visiting each other at the speed of light. Izuku. Food, I can't take the test without food, using his quick while dressing. 12:30, shit. Where's the road? He's running wild on his quick all over the city. Izuku. Excuse me ma'am, where is the UA Academy? Nice lady. UYYY. Young man is north of the city, 4 hours from here by train. Izuku. Shit. Whispering thanks for nothing. Izuku using his quick to go between blocks and blocks as fast as he could. At the academy. Isawa. Well, that's all for today, don't forget tomorrow's homework. Lita. Sensei, I don't mean to interrupt, but there's still 1 more hour of class left. Everyone is intrigued by the teacher's lack of professionalism. Isawa. You're right, but we have 4 students about to take the entrance exam, annoyed at the memory of what a waste of time this exam was. Sai. There's another entrance exam. She said very discreetly. Isawa. If there is a late or second chance exam, you can only take this exam if you are really desperate to get in. Ichako. But it's the exam that no one passes, right? Isawa. Good perception, usually the academy does not give a second chance to any student, and worse for those who fell asleep in their beds, arriving late for the original exam. Himinari. But why doesn't anyone pass? Is it really as difficult as they say? Isawa. This exam is different, guys. Lita. Could you explain why? She said in a way that allowed the whole group to ask questions about a reasonable explanation from their teacher. Isawa. Quick explanation, okay, I really don't know why you're so interested in this topic, but oh well, sighing into the air, I think I won't be able to sleep before the exam. Isawa. Look, guys, this exam involves 4 tests for each student, unlike you, who had 1 test worth 250 points. But for this one, the academy evaluates out of 500 points, 250 for the practical exam. Momo. Isn't that unfair? He said in a way that everyone would hear and be curious to know more about the matter. Isawa. Do you think that's unfair? There's more entering his sleeping bag. Look guys, if by chance you get these 250 points, you'll have to take a knowledge test, which none of you took besides, that's only evaluated in 100 points. Lita. But all the points added together give 350 points, and I understand that 400 points are needed to pass. Asawa. As expected of you, sighing, the third test is given randomly by the director of the academy, although I understand that for years the test is analysis. All. Do you analyze? Asawa. Yes, unfortunately, they grade how useful your quick score is in practical work, and if you're lucky, they might give you those precious 150 points that are missing. Mineta. Isn't that a little discriminatory? He announced loudly, in protest, he hoped that a pretty girl would join him for a bask. Asawa. You don't understand, do you? Everyone remained attentive to what their teacher was going to say. Asawa. Imagine if someone passes the practical exam, we'd have to analyze the new student with all the teachers. That takes time. Plus, it would take a whole month to announce their grade. This last sentence reminds him of all the paperwork he has to do, irritated. Asawa. And then the knowledge exam, that's another month, for a total of 2 months of missed classes. If she manages to pass all the exams, she would have to return after 3 months of classes. You'd already be way ahead. Lita. Does that mean I'd have to do some solo practice and make up for the lost hours? Momo. It is something very tedious. Sai. That's why the exam is so difficult, now I understand Kiro. Mina. And I wanted a new classmate, seeing a bench next to him. Asawa. If there is nothing else to discuss, I have to go rolling on the floor with his jacket. Momo. It would be fun to see someone passing by, the sensei would die of irritation because of how tedious the paleo is, smiling. Aoyama. It wouldn't matter, I don't think he's more handsome than me, showing off to the whole class. But Izuku. Izuku. Wow. So this is the UA Academy, I better hurry, there are only 10 minutes left until it starts. Izuku visualizing some students from class B to ask where the admissions room is, obviously everyone mockingly indicated to him. Izuku. Smiling, thank you, a moment later, if it weren't for publicity they would be dying. Now in the test. Nezu. Good morning fellow aspirants, it's a great day for you, explaining what everything Asawa had said consists of. Nezu. If you want, you can drop out now, you know. If you don't pass this one, there won't be a second chance for you, you can drop out and try again next year. He announced in a dark voice, something that everyone had quickly abandoned except for Izuku. Nezu. Young man, are you still here? In an interrogative manner Asawa-sensei set the count and take out the robots. Asawa. Of course. Then, 50 robots appeared scattered throughout the arena, 10 hidden in some houses, so that the boy couldn't get the required score. Asawa. Ready, now. At that moment Izuku closed his eyes and then hit the ground with great intensity to locate the hidden robots, thus breaking them and making it easier to get those inside. Nezu. What are you doing? Asawa. I think he gave up, waste of time. Izuku. Ready. Teleporting to various locations with a metal baseball bat, he smashed the 10 robots from behind in a matter of 4 minutes. Nezu. But look what we have here, what was missing in the academy, a teleportation, quick. Asawa. Don't get your hopes up, you still have the dem. Izuku after 11 min managed to defeat everyone until. Nezu. It's time for the big one. Izashi. I'm a little late, we're leaving now. Asawa. Shut up and watch, he said in a surprised manner. Izashi. He defeated the giant and the other robots equally surprised. Nezu. They also fell. Izuku. Hey, I'm done, that was harder than I expected, with labored breathing. Nezu. Okay, thanks kid. We'll give you the results by the end of next month. Then we'll give you the date for the next test. We recommend studying, it's about knowledge. Announcing from a microphone. Izuku. Thank you, he grabbed his bat and went straight to the exit with a smile. Asawa. And what do you think? That was surprising, but we still have to do the Regis, he was interrupted. Izashi. I have things to do, I'll leave it to you, friend, running towards the door. Nezu. I'll leave it to you Asawa, do half of the registration, if you pass the next exam you do the other half. Asawa. I'm out of practice with this. It's been a long time since I last recorded and completed a student's missed subjects. I also have to count the practice sessions. Nezu. I'll take care of the practices. Izuku's pav. The exam was relatively easy, but I knew they'd be watching me if I finished within 5 minutes. I deliberately delayed the other exam so I could get a reasonable time. I don't want to draw attention to myself, I never imagined that hiding my tail would waste a lot of energy, otherwise I let everyone see it, and most people have peculiarities like that. Arriving home I listened to music on an MP3 of someone who died for me, of course, took a shower, ordered takeout and sat in a tree for hours. Days passed and Izuku went to a bookstore very far from where he lived, although he liked to go to kill time. On the way he read a little about nanocompounds and organic chemistry. It seemed very interesting to him. He knew that if chemistry appeared on the exam, he would pass. Physics he only studied the topic of vectors, derivation and integration of any problem. But what hated him was foreign languages. He struggled a lot with it. While he was killing people he tried to speak English, and when he was training too, it was funny to listen to him while he sang his favorite songs. And Pav. So time flies. August 22nd. Sensei, what are you doing, asks Jiro. Asawa. Remember the entrance exam 3 weeks ago? All. Yes, but what does that have to do with what I'm doing instead of teaching? Asawa. An individual managed to pass the first test, he said in a way that seemed annoying. Everyone. Is there anyone crazy enough to take the test? Asawa. Yes, I'm doing her back-to-back lesson plans, well, half of them. It all depends on this Saturday. Hiroshima. What do you think about that, Bakugo? Itsuki. What am I going to say? I'm not interested. Screaming. Okoyami. I find it surprising that someone is fighting to the very end to get into the academy, surprising everyone. Then everyone was murmuring about the events while Asawa-sensei finished doing the paperwork. Time flew by, it was time for Izuku's exam. On the other hand, some of the A1 class wanted to see who the mysterious young man was. Momo. Are you sure, girls, that we have to spy? Mina. Don't worry, we'll just take a look and murmur. Ichako. I don't know why they swallowed me. Seiya. The boy is falling behind, don't you think? Toru. I don't think he'll come, he said sadly, knowing that he was still going to fail. Izuku. Excuse me, do you know where there is a stationery store nearby? All. Yes, crossing the street on the right. Izuku. Thank you, while waggling his tail. Toru. Do you think it's him? Momo. I don't think so, he doesn't have the uniform or even a suitcase to take the exam. Ichako. Don't you think it was a little cute smiling at them? Seiya. I think yesterday's practice affected him. Girls, let's go eat something. They followed Seiya to see where they could eat. Back with Izuku. Izuku's Pav. Shit, on the way here, I killed a cop who was arresting me for rooftop jumping. My makeshift uniform got dirty and I had to change. I can't believe my pencil is missing. Entering the UA Academy. Then Pav. Asawa. So you're here and your uniform? Izuku. He got dirty while eating this morning. Nezu. It doesn't matter, just take the exam and leave, giving him the exam. Narrated by Izuku. First question, name, point secured well. I make chemistry easy, I am success. Physics, without fear, that without fear of success, damn it. English, open English, don't let me down. Writing, if I have a person in front of me and I kill them, which comes first, the subject or the verb? Trying to remember their form. Math, done. After a hard 4-hour test. Izuku. Ready. Nezu. Okay, you have to come on September 25th after the championship is over, come and find out your grade. Izuku. Thank you, bowing. Almight. I'm here, where's the new student? Asawa. He just left. Damn, I wanted to meet him, while looking at the profile picture on the documents. Nezu. And how is your student to whom you inherited the quick? Training as always. Asawa. He's young, Bakugo, right? He's strong, although I would have preferred if you had given him to someone responsible and less problematic. I don't think so, I know he's the one and there wasn't anyone else there at the time. Nezu. Well, what's done is done. See you later. I have a test to grade. Asawa. I thought I would do it. Nezu. Don't worry, you start doing the second part of the registration. Asawa. But the exam hasn't been reviewed yet, whispering. Nezu. I don't think it's necessary, he said this while looking sideways at the exam. During the days, so that Izuku is accepted. Izuku's Pav. Now I'll have to move to the northern city so as not to be late to the academy, in addition to leaving this place clean, looking at the building carefully, and also going to clean the cabin house, what a pain. Then Pav. Like a mother. Izuku's Pav. Well, that story brings me back to the beginning. During the days I was waiting for the response from the academy, I was limited to spending time at home. Usually I have always dreamed of having a house in the north center of the city. While I waited for the answer, I went looking for an apartment that would fit my new life, and although I found one extremely cheap, not far from the academy, the money I had was from robbing dead people or those who had been robbed from the bank. I limited myself to buying myself enough. A blanket to sleep in and an alarm clock, although I don't need food because I can't cook. Then Pav. Shortly after, in my apartment, I never thought I would move here, I would usually hate it, but The next day. Izuku was heading to UA Academy to find out if he was admitted to the curriculum to become a hero. Izuku. They told me to come on the day of the sports festival, although this is very boring. Well, he said this in a low voice, he could visualize how the final was ending. It was Todoroki versus Katsuki. Izuku. Wuya, so this is a fight between aspiring heroes, I never imagined it would be so bloody. While Izuku saw how Todoroki was behind a wall of ice, he could see how Katsuki slightly had the victory. Izuku. That one with the explosions is simply strong, his speed and grip strength are extremely strong, but the other one is not far behind, having fire and ice in his hands, it's like he has two quicks in one. He watched carefully, analyzing his opponents. Izuku had experience in killing heroes, people, he knew what it was like to live in a place where everything is the enemy, but he didn't understand how to fight face to face without giving a critical hit to his opponent. His quick gave a lot to say when fighting against someone. After all, he is still a child. Nezu. Oh young man, I told you to come after the sports festival. Izuku. Principal of Nezu Academy, I wanted to see what your prestigious hero academy was like before entering, I wanted to make sure it was the right one. Nezu. OHHH, it's not like you have other options, or do you? He said it ironically. Izuku. Well, who knows, trying to hide it, I wanted to look like someone important and imposing. Nezu. Well, without beating around the bush, okay, you passed all 3 tests. Turning his back. Izuku. And classes start turning his back on her as well. Nezu. Next Monday you'll be alone in the classroom while they're doing their internships with professionals. Izuku. You had it planned after all, with a very happy voice. Nezu. Say what you want, friend. Izuku. Friend. Yes, friend, see you soon. As he quickly left the place. Asawa and present in the corner. Asawa. And how did you see it? Present. Very mysterious, his smile scares me a bit, makes me distrustful. Nezu. Don't say that, as long as he's on the side of the heroes, he'll serve us. Yes. Narration. The students of Class A1 went to their internships as expected. On the other hand, our greenish black-haired boy had private classes with Asawa-sensei. The days passed, he studied and practiced his quick secretly at the academy. Although Asawa knew about his quick, he still hid it secretly. Little by little he got used to handling his tail in crowds. The truth is that at first he felt uncomfortable with the stares, but in the end they believed that it was a normal quick. End of the narration. The day many had been waiting for had arrived, but it was just a normal day for our protagonist. Momo. How did your internship go, Kyoka? Kyoka. Not good, I had to wake up earlier to practice, and I didn't have time to listen to my songs. Michako. Well, I think we all go through something, don't you think? Shiro. It was relatively easy for me. Todoroki. And you, Bakugo. Bakugo. Nothing to talk about, I don't have to tell you. With a rude voice. Lita. Silence everyone, the teacher is here. Asawa. Thank you, Lita, that's very kind of you. With a meticulous voice. Asawa. As you know, your 3rd quarter starts today, blah blah blah, I hope you do your best. I also have an announcement to make. Takeami. Why is there an extra seat in the classroom? Didn't they remove it weeks ago? Asawa. That's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about. A new student will be joining today. Everyone. They were whispering about how he was, creating conspiracy theories and how strong he must be. Bakugo. Another idiot to deal with. Asawa. Young man enters. Looking at the door for 4 minutes. All. EHH. Asawa. I don't think we'll sell today. Izuku. Sorry for the delay. Forcibly opening the classroom door. Asawa. What have you been doing? With your quickness it's hard for you to be late. I asked the young man with suspicion. Izuku. I forgot some things at home and had to run out, he said with a smile from ear to ear. Asawa. Introduce yourself quickly, class should start soon. Lita was disgusted by Izuku's lack of education towards the teacher, and everyone else was intrigued to see his tale. Izuku. Nice to meet you all, my name is Izuku Midoriya, I am in your care. While playing with one hand on his tail. Mina. You're the one who passed the exam late, right? Excited. Izuku. Asawa-sensei, where will my place be? Asawa. Lastly, treat your classmates well when they speak to you. Izuku. Okay, Mina, right. Nice to meet you. Without answering the question from before. Everyone was surprised to see him, not to mention his big soft tail, which the girls wanted to touch no matter what. Without them being able to see him, he was already in his seat. Todoroki. But what? Asawa. Izuku, quicks can't be used inside the classroom. Izuku. Sorry teacher, while taking out his book. Asawa. Okay, everyone open to page 158, we'll start classes. After a while of Asawa's explanations, everyone noticed how the greenish black-haired man had fallen asleep in his seat, causing most of them to start laughing. Bakugo. The nerd face fell asleep, teacher. Screaming. Asawa. Leave it, I'll continue with my classes. Izuku was just lying down while listening to the class, he didn't need anything, he already knew it, he just wanted to sleep a little. Momo. Jiro, don't you think it's strange, he fell asleep and the teacher didn't do anything to him? Jiro. It's none of my business. Looking at him out of the corner of his eye. Wait, are those headphones? After 5 hours of classes. Asawa. Well, put on your hero suits and meet me at the training camp. Asawa. Please make sure Izuku wakes up. Lita. Yes, teacher. Ichako. Hey, wake up, we're going to practice, she said while Bakugo was leaving with Todoroki to the hallways. Momo. Leave him, we're going to be late. Everyone left, no one knew how to interact with him until Izuku. Phew, what a nice rest looking around. They left without me. Well, it doesn't matter. And training. Asawa. Let's do a practice that you've been looking forward to, a 1 versus 1. I want to see how much you learned this week. Mina. No please, we just came back from the internship. Complaining adamantly. Asawa. It doesn't matter, I just want you to see something. Izuku, where is he? Izuku. Here, master, teleporting behind the group. Mineta. I thought he wasn't coming. Asawa. First fight, Bakugo versus Midoriya. As All Might and Present entered. All. I didn't expect that one. JPG. Bakugo. So I should put him in his place, right? It's an honor. Izuku. I'll pass, master, can I leave? Asking with a sarcastic voice. Asawa. You can't, it would be a 0 in this practice, it will hurt you later. Izuku. Whatever, giving him a smile. Todoroki. What do you think he's planning? Momo. He looks confident, what do you think, mine? Mina. Her tail looks cute, don't you think? Ichako. Well, I can't deny it, looking at her tail out of the corner of my eye. Cements. Ready, ya. Bakugo. And your hero costume? Are you still wearing the uniform? Izuku. I didn't have time to put it on, well, it doesn't change anything. Asawa. Bakugo is right, go get your suit, even while the others finish training. Izuku. I'm going. While he walked away. Izuku's pav. I can't believe he's asking me for the hero suit. This is so boring. As he teleported to the locker room. Then pav. Everyone was fighting, Mina lost to Sato, and Jiro also lost to Kirishima, Momo the same story. Everything was normal until. Izuku. I'm back. Asawa. Is that your hero outfit? You know it looks like normal clothes, right? Izuku. If there's nothing out of the ordinary. Todoroki. What are you planning? Almight. I think he's an idiot. Cements. Okay, Bakugo, ready? Bakugo. Yes, quickly. Cements. Now. Izuku stood still with his metal bat, he just moved until. Bakugo. You think you're an idiot, right? With fury in his blow. Izuku just dodged his blows and occasionally teleported a considerable distance, he didn't want to fight, but he didn't want to lose either. Bakugo. Give it a stupid fight while trying to land a hit with explosions. Izuku. I think I won by giving a smile. The fight went on, and they could only watch as Izuku dodged blow after blow, without making a move. Cements. Stop now. Asawa. It's a tie, apparently. Almight. I think it was kind of boring. Asawa. I think you're right, I wanted to see something else, while I watched Bakugo sweat and Izuku walk away quietly. Momo. He really knows how to move, don't you think so, Todoroki? Todoroki. I think he was just making fun of Bakugo, or is it my imagination? The day went as expected, Izuku sleeping in class while Bakugo got angry about the tie. During the break. Mina. Hello Midoriya, I'm Mina, can you do me a favor? Izuku. What happened? Looking at her carefully. Mina. Can I touch your tail? Momo. Mina. What are you asking the new student? Izuku. If you touch my tail, I won't be able to get married anymore, he said while acting his blush. Mina. It wasn't my intention, I just wanted to caress her, nothing more, no strings attached. Izuku. Don't worry. You can safely touch it, you just need to bring a brush to do it. Mina. Really? I don't have a brush now, but I'll bring it tomorrow. Todoroki. Looking from afar. End of classes. Asawa. I see that some of you need help keeping up with the practice. Asawa. We'll pair up and help each other out. Lita, give me the list of pairs tomorrow. Lita. Of course. Ichako. Lita, are we going together? Lita. Of course. While everyone was choosing their partners, Asawa watched as Bakugo and Todoroki teamed up. The point of this training is for the best to help each other, not go off on their own. Asawa. Bakugo, you will train 3, Todoroki the same, and finally Izuku too, it's clear Izuku. Hoda. But that's where things get difficult, master. Asawa. Well then I'll do it, Bakugo, Kiminari, Kirishima and Shoji. Todoroki, Toru, Aoyama and Tsuyu and finally Midoriya, Yaoyorozu, Jiro, let's get someone else. Mina, let it be me, please let it be me, I don't want to go with Mineta, please, God. Isawa. I would put you with Aoyama who needs help, but he will go with Lita's group and I see that Mineta is attentive to the answer, you will go with Mina. Mina, thank you master. With tears in her eyes. Mineta. I think it's not my day whistling. Isawa. There will be dormitories for each team, the application was already sent today, any problems with your parents we will go personally to discuss. You have these 3 days to move your things and then. Todoroki. It doesn't make sense because it's so sudden. Isawa. The League of Villains wants to kill them before they can grow into heroes. That's why we're going to do it. While they're in this facility, some pro heroes will be able to protect them. Mineta. You mean they're looking for us? Isawa. I wouldn't say that, but it's better to prevent it before it happens, don't you think? Ichako. I think it will be fun. After class. Isawa. Izuku, can you stay for a moment? Izuku saw that everyone was leaving. Izuku. What happened master? Isawa. You know why I put you in that group, right? Izuku. Why are they useless? He said directly. Isawa. Don't put it like that. Yaoyorozu is very intelligent, but when it comes to fighting, he lacks tenacity. Jiro is just trying, while Mina is just playing along. Izuku. They are useless, I saw all 3 of them lose in practice today looking at his teacher's reaction. Isawa. The point is, we need you to help them. Izuku. I'll do what I can. Isawa. And that's not all. Almight and Nezu entered the classroom. ALLM. The League of Villains wants Yaoyorozu for his quickness. He said dryly. Nezu. The League of Villains is looking for one of the 3. You're the strongest to overcome all 3. Izuku. Me strong. But I couldn't even beat Bakugo. Cementos entered, you know very well that you were just dodging the attacks. Izuku. Seriously. My mom won't give me permission starting her performance. Izuku. If she finds out she'll kick me out of UA Academy in tears. Nezu. We already know young Midoriya. You live alone. Caught. Izuku. They did their job well, hahaha. Well, I'll do it, bye, with a smile that brightened up the place. After a while. While Izuku was moving his things to the academy that same day, he paid the last rent. Izuku. Spending money pfffff sleeping on top of a building. The week passed as usual, boring as I watched everyone move their things to their bedrooms, I only had to pass my blanket. Saturday morning. Isawa. Well, it seems everyone had their parents' permission, there are rules in these departments, each team has its own departments on the other hand. From Monday to Thursday they will only have 4 hours of classes, after which they can go to train with their respective teams in the courtyards of each department. Mineta. Less work for me with a triumphant face. But every Friday they will have a training session that will be graded to keep track of their performance. Mineta. Damn. If you enter a room that does not belong to you without the owner's permission, you will be severely punished. Isawa. Girls, don't hesitate to let us know anything. Boys can't leave the academy except on weekends, their cameras listened. Mineta. Lightning. Isawa. Izuku, that goes for you, your quick allows you to leave without warning. Sai. Come to think of it, we only got to see her teleportation like quick, Kiro. Ichako. We still don't know exactly what she does. Izuku. It's nothing special, smiling, trying to change the subject. Isawa. Retreat. In the dormitory of the private group. Mina. Wow, it does look like a whole house with a kitchen and everything. Momo. Well, it will be fun while it lasts, right? What about Jiro? Izuku. She went to her room, ahhh. Tomorrow we have to talk about something, let her know. Well, I went to train a little. Momo. Okay, shyly. Mina. Hey Momo, how about you show me your room? Momo. Okay. The next day. Izuku. Are we all here? Jiro. Why did you call us in a harsh and bitter way? Mina. It's Sunday, Izuku. Momo. I think I agree with the others, shrugging her shoulders. Izuku. So you know the rules of the house, well I only have 3 requests. Jiro. Speak quickly, I want to watch a movie. Mina. Are you going to see The Nun too? They say it's going to be live at 4 p.m. Momo. Excited, we can put it in the living room. Izuku. My first request, no tennis balls. Worse yarns, okay. Ball. What's that about? Izuku. Starting tomorrow after school, there will always be training, and on Saturdays there will only be 3 hours of training. Ball. I think we're going to die. Izuku. You are not allowed to leave without telling me. Jiro. So that means that on Saturdays, we also have to notify you? Izuku. Exactly, Jiro. Jiro. You can call me Kyoka. Now that we're going to live together for a long time, I think you should call everyone by their first name, don't you think? Momo. I have no objections, and you Mina. Mina. What thing? Distracted by the window. Izuku. Well, that's all, I'll go to the courtyard. All. Okay. Mina. What do you think she's doing? Watching the movie. Jiro. Men's things. Momo. I think it would be rude not to spy on him, don't you think? Mina. Already at the window. Jiro. A little more discreet, Mina. All. What are you doing? Momo. I think he's just sitting. Mina. Are you sleeping sitting up? Jiro. Don't you see? He's listening to music while sitting about to laugh. Mina. In conclusion, he's just sitting. All. They laughed silently as they went to watch television again. The next day. Classes proceeded normally. First English with Present, then Math and Chemistry with Isawa, then Instruction with Almight. Everything went well. Mina. It's finally over and we have plenty of time to sleep. Izuku heard those words from the other corner of the classroom. Izuku, when we arrive you'll see. The moment they arrived at the apartment. Izuku. I'll see you in an hour and a half in the courtyard, rest and eat. I'll wait for you there while entering his room. Izuku. Yaoyoi Momo, eat well. I understand that your quickness depends on your diet, right? Make sure you eat well. Momo. I have a bad feeling. Mina. I don't think I'll be able to sleep today as she went to the kitchen. 1 hour and a half later. Izuku. Let's see the three of us, we're just going to run 4 laps around the court as a warm-up and then we'll start. He said in a way that made it sound easy to do. Mina. 4 laps. Are you crazy? Izuku. I'm serious, okay, I'm in charge of you. While smiling. Mina. Okay. Momo's pav. He's crazy. Right. I mean, I know we can do it, we're heroes, but isn't it enough as a warm-up? I saw how Kyoka was falling behind and Mina was sweating profusely. Then pav. Jiro's pav. After 2 laps I got really tired because the course is so big. I'm falling behind the group at the beginning of the first one. I saw how Mina was sweating profusely, she's like that in every way. Then pav. Pav Mina. Shit, I forgot to drink a lot of water at lunch. I look like a walking towel, how embarrassing. Then pav. As they ran, Izuku realized they couldn't keep up with him, so he decided to slow down. Little by little he slowed down so they could keep up with him, although he didn't make it easy for them, he recognized that they weren't in shape. Izuku. Well, this will be harder than I thought while watching Jiro throw himself to the ground. Jiro. Oh no, I'm going to get a cramp. Just when I was about to scream. Izuku. You have to be kidding me. Izuku quickly grabbed Jiro's foot and massaged it to prevent the scream. Mina and Momo just watched the scene with attention and shame. Izuku. Mina and Momo, what are you waiting for? Start stretching together as a team while she began to crush Jiro's back. Jiro. What are you? Embarrassed. Izuku. Just relax your body. I said you should stretch before running and you didn't listen as he grabbed his foot and lifted it slowly and strongly. Jiro. Sorry with a sad look. Izuku. Don't be upset, it usually happens. Next time you'll understand while he let go of her. Izuku. Come on all 3 of you, let's clear up Mina first. Mina. With or without Quick. Approaching. Izuku. No Quick, go ahead. Mina went to hit him, but he just dodged her, she watched as he simply observed her every move. Izuku. You lasted 15 minutes, not bad, go and rest. Momo, your turn. Momo. As you wish. With great confidence. Izuku. You lasted 5 minutes, there's that to improve. And finally Kyo. Jiro, come. Jiro. Ready. Shouting euphorically. Izuku. 7 minutes sighing. Izuku. Okay, we have to run 4 more laps, let's go. All. Nuo. In tears. 40 minutes later. The girls threw themselves to the ground, their bodies tired and sore. Izuku. Go take a shower and rest. We'll continue tomorrow. All. Okay. In the showers. Mina. My legs hurt, my body hurts. Momo. This is too much, don't you think? Jiro. I think he went a little overboard. Momo. A little. A lot. As she came out of the shower. Mina. In all this, where is she? Looking all over the house. Jiro. Look, pointing at the window. The girls could see him run 10 more laps around the course without tiring. He ran without a quick fast fluid run. Jiro. I think we are low, looking away. Mina. I think we need to practice more, with a slightly sad tone. Momo. I think you're right. 2 weeks of training. Before the first class. Ichako. Girls, what's wrong with you today? You look awful, looking at me with a smile. Lita. You're right, they didn't even comb their hair. Mina. Yesterday Izuku trained us, apparently it was too much for us. Lita. You don't have to treat them like that. Momo. Don't worry, we'll be fine. Izuku enters the classroom, seeing an aura of few friends around some classmates, but he simply limited himself to looking at them and smiling. Asawa. Sit down, let's get started. And so 3 more days of training passed, Friday arrived. Alm. Are you ready for your practice test with enthusiasm? Seiya. Almight, I don't think that group is ready Kiro. Alm. What happened to you girls, you look terrible. Jiro. Izuku, you're training, tiredness he said in a low voice. Alm. They will be able to take the test, right? Izuku arrives on the scene. Izuku. Don't worry, we'll give the test first so they can rest for tomorrow. Asawa. Surely they will plow it. Seeing her 3 companions. Izuku. We'll be the first. Olem. Cementos opens the labyrinth with traps. Cements. Ready. Alm. Asawa. Team 1 begins. Momo, tired. I think it's that way, about to faint. Mina, tired. I think it's over there pointing to the exit door. Jiro, tired. Where are we? Izuku jumped on a large scale visualizing the goal. Izuku. Hold hands now while grabbing Mina's hand. Izuku. Ready. They just nodded and in the blink of an eye. They were already at the finish line. Asawa. I was surprised even though he did all the work. Alm. I think you're right. Cement lowering the walls. Asawa. I think teamwork was lacking Izuku. Izuku. A 10 is a 10, now we're leaving teleporting to his apartment. Izuku saw how the 3 girls fell from exhaustion, while Jiro had a fever with Momo, Mina was more resistant, but she still had a fever. Izuku's pav. I think I overdid it. I honestly didn't think they'd follow my full workout after watching me train the first day. Now they're sick how annoying. I think I made them feel bad and they wanted to follow in my footsteps. Teleporting from room to room, changing a small warm towel on each of their heads, it was a rough night for me. I watched as Jiro sometimes woke up and went back to bed, the same with the other 2. It doesn't really matter. But she seemed to be very restless. I would secretly go with them to check on her. Mina was a special case, having nightmares all night. I had to spend more time with her caressing her horns than usual, caressing her head, with her pink hair, so soft. On the other hand Jiro. While he was sleeping, the tips of his jacks, his quick, were overheating. I had to urgently teleport to the forest to get healing herbs, oregano. I managed to make some oregano water to rub with a cloth on her jacks and let her sleep peacefully. And the most problematic of all, Momo. Her skin was starting to become like melted plastic. Well, I had to cover her entire body constantly with chamomile water. But as if that weren't enough, I had to wet my tail to treat her. I used my tail as a rag to help her. How disgusting. How sticky my tail was after that. It took 10 hours of caring for them, even their mother. I left delicious chicken soup in each room to help them recover. Obviously, afterward, she cleared the dishes, but they just talked. I think they felt guilty for being so weak. Saturday at 7 a.m. Momo. Coming down from her room. What a regenerative dream I had. Mina. You too, Momo. I thought I was the only one who slept well. With suspicion. Jiro. I think there are 3 of us now. As they went down the stairs, they could see Izuku sleeping on the sofa, covering himself with his tail. Jiro. I think it's adorable. Covering his blush. Mina. I'm going to touch his ears with super soft, silent steps. Momo. I don't think that's a good idea. As soon as Mina approached, he quickly stood up to see Mina trying to grab her contact lenses. Mina. Oh, my contact lenses acting. Izuku. They're awake. Today at 2 p.m. without fail, meeting in the courtyard yawning, going to his bedroom. Mina. Yes, she is friendly. Jiro. I think he's going to scold us eyeing. Momo. Hey, did he put warm water compresses on you all day yesterday? Or am I dreaming? Jiro. No Momo, you didn't dream it, he also entered my room blushing. Mina. And I thought I was unique. Momo. We are unique. Laughing. At 2 p.m. Izuku. Stretch out as much as you can. While he slowly stretched with his eyes closed, his shirt noticed exactly how good a body he had. Momo. So it's not a meeting, it's going to be practice. While stretching. Izuku. After practice, we'll talk. Mina. Is it that important? I mean, I wanted to go grocery shopping for the week. Jiro. Me too, even though UA gives you 1000 CP a month, the candy doesn't buy itself. Izuku. Then we'll just do the training and at night we'll talk while grabbing Momo by the feet and teleporting her to an enormous height. Izuku. Mina, you keep looking at her with laughter. Mina. Wait, yet it was thrown anyway. Jiro. I think I passed. Just as the 3 were about to fall to the ground, he grabbed them with his tail, one by one. Izuku. Did you wake up? Today's training is short because it's Saturday, but that doesn't mean it's difficult. Mina. And what are we going to do now, run? Laughing quietly. Izuku. Do you know how frogs do it? If you don't know, ask Seiya. Momo. No, please, anything but that. Moments later, we could see a line of 4 people doing froggy poses at the same time, although Mina was the last one because she was so talkative. You could see how they'd built up their resilience. Izuku. 4 laps and we're off, walking. Mina. Wait for me 1 hour and 30. Momo. And 4 turns falling to the ground. Jiro. Cheater, you stopped completely before I saw you. Coming in second place. Izuku. Come on, mine while he continued making little frogs with her winged. Mina. It's easy to say, you've already done 8 laps and I'm still 3 sobbing. Izuku. Come on, you only need 10 more toads. Mina. Jumping quickly in 10 I beat you falling to the ground. Izuku. Good one, that girl. Now everyone can go to the showers, by the way, if you're going to buy some, be careful seriously. Izuku's pav. When I got to the apartment, I noticed the girls' bathroom was very noisy, so I just went to take a leisurely shower. They're always surprised by how long I spend in the tub, but if they had tails, they wouldn't suffer like I did. Brushing my tail is a total art and my ears are delicate with hot water. But this time I had to get out quickly. It's no coincidence that I was appointed their guardian. I had to watch over them from afar while they went shopping. After a while, I followed them from the top of the buildings. Everything was so normal, I had time to go shopping for winter clothes. Then pav. Sunday afternoon. Momo. Mina, wake up, it's still 4 p.m. and you're complaining about being sleepy. Mina. I can't. The homework is boring. Izuku, watching TV. You have to do it. So you can go to sleep early. Or you won't want to go to training tomorrow because of homework. Jiro, listening to music on the sofa next door. Mina. Kyoka, are you done? Sobbing. Jiro. I finished it Thursday night and I'm not going to lend it to you. Momo. Mina, what's the point of homework if you don't learn? Pointing at her notebook like a teacher. The day passed unnoticed as our greenish black-haired boy rested while meditating on this day. Monday morning. Bakugo. Hey bicolor, don't look at me with that face. Todoroki. It's my normal face, imbecile. Lita. Guys, calm down. If the teacher comes, he'll talk to everyone. Bakugo. Shut up, 4 eyes. While this discussion was taking place. Seiya. Uraraka, how's training going? Kiro. Uraraka. We're doing well. Lita is kind to us. And even though it's a little tough at times, the training is going very well. And yours? Seiya. Todoroki-san is calm. He helps us with our individual flaws and also with our quick fixes. Kiro. Uraraka. Excellent, it looks like we're making progress, and you Momo? Momo. We are still sore, she said sarcastically. Mina. I see you're having a good time laughing heartily. Jiro. What keeps me alive now is music playing a song on his phone with headphones. Uraraka. And to think that Izuku guy looked cute on the outside. I don't think I should be so demanding of them. Lita. Uraraka's right. And how are her quicks going? Momo. About that, we haven't practiced anything with our quicks yet. Haminari. Kyoka, is that true? Asking XD. Jiro. Yes, but I think he has his reasons. Haminari. I'll change that. Saw Izuku enter the classroom. Haminari. What are you doing, stupid? He shouted. The whole room fell silent, even Bakugo who was fighting on the floor with Todoroki and Toru trying to separate them. Izuku. What do you mean yawning? Haminari. Don't play innocent, I know you're overexploiting them. With anger in his words. Izuku. And what? Do you care, is it your group, are you interested? Taking a strong step and a smile. Everyone fell silent looking at Izuku's face. Haminari. You don't know that Kyoka isn't that good at physical strength. Well, Kyoka was angry because they called her weak. Izuku. I know, throwing his backpack to his Ha-100, but I also know that Momo is much weaker and doesn't complain. Momo, honestly, if I hadn't joined through recommendation, I would have already complained, this is about my stupid dignity I thought. Takeami. Honestly, they do complain, and quite a lot. Standing up, joining in the discussion. Izuku. Oh, and Mina thinks the same too. Sighing in the air. Hanta. She too getting up very nervous. Izuku. Someone else who wants to speak for the 3 of them, he said in a normal voice. Oh, let them make their own decisions. Haminari. Their own decisions. You didn't give them a choice. All the 3 were deeply saddened, each recalled how he cared for them when they became seriously ill. How he helped them with that delicious chicken soup. As always, he slowed down the pace of the walk so they could keep up. They were making slow progress. Takeami. And you've only trained your physical body, not your quicks. Takeami. It's because you've already perfected it, you don't let them perfect it. Zero. You're right. Izuku. Oh, a little bird wants to get out of the cage approaching Takeami. Just as I was about to say something, Asawa walked into the classroom. Everyone sat down except for Izuku. Izuku. Excuse me, teacher stopped. Asawa. What's up, Midoriya? In his sleeping bag. Izuku. I would like to skip your class, I have to fix my hero costume, putting a finger on his cheek. Asawa. So you finally decided to add something to it? Incognita. Izuku. Honestly no, I just want to skip class with this excuse. Everyone was left with their mouths open at the green-haired man's honesty. Asawa. Ah, okay, but don't skip class with All Might, okay. Izuku. Of course, by opening his backpack and putting a song, Pressure, on his cell phone with headphones. Jiro. I didn't know he liked that song. Asawa. Now that he's gone, did something happen? All. No, nothing, looking the other way. Asawa. Don't be a liar. I was listening to everything from outside. Turn to page 253. Lita. If you know, why don't you say anything, teacher? Asawa. Although his teaching style is extraordinary, it's like he says, if anyone should complain it would be his own group. Uraraka. But I think it's not right looking at Momo's group. Momo. Well stuttering. Mina. It's okay, Momo, sit down, grabbing the shoulders. Asawa. Well, without further ado, let's begin. The hours passed, Izuku did not show up in the other classes until All Might's class arrived. Alm. Everything's okay now because I'm here. Arriving at training camp. Alm. Today, you'll have a friendly practice session. Meet with your groups and each group leader will have to demonstrate how they're doing their practice sessions. Izuku. Mina, Momo and Kyoka, come. Todoroki. Seiya brings the others. And so the entire A1 class was gathered in teams of 4. Some were practicing their quicks while others were having friendly battles. Izuku, stretching. I think I don't need to say it, right, Kyoka? Looking at them carefully. Jiro. Yes, sorry, I was looking somewhere else while watching Kiminari stretch. Izuku. Quick, Momo and Jiro sit down and watch. Mina goes first. Taking out his bat. Momo. Hey, Jiro, whispering. Jiro. What's wrong? Whispering. Momo. Do you know why he always takes out a baseball bat and never uses it? You're right, but I have no idea either, he said as they watched. Izuku. Mina, I just want you to hit me before 15 minutes, if you can, you're going to rest. Mina. Just one and that's it, okay, launching at high speed, surprising the other observers. Izuku simply dodged every punch and kick that tried to connect with him, he was just watching her intently, thinking about the development of her training. Mina. Stay still. Screaming. Izuku. Why are you hitting the air without thinking? Mina stops playing. Giving him a soft hit on the head, then gave the pink-haired girl a little advice. Mina. Here I go. Kicking towards Izuku's face, he just flexed his hip to dodge it. Izuku. You're losing energy, Mina, focus on the movements of my feet. Pointing at his feet obviously. Mina gained momentum and kicked the boy in the abdomen. He managed to dodge it, but even though he dodged it, he had to grab Mina's fist that was about to hit him in the face. Izuku. Good one, Mina, now go rest. While hitting her on the head with the bat. Mina. I don't believe it, did I really give it to you? 2 weeks of trying and I finally did it, on the verge of tears. Bakugo. The raccoon face has become agile. While giving an explosion on Kirishima's back. Izuku. Jiro, you follow voice and prepare Momo. Moments later they could see how Jiro tactically launched himself at Izuku, and even though she was Veloza, Izuku always dodged her. Izuku. Kyoka, come on, think quickly about your next move. Izuku. Don't lose your fighting stance, Kyoka. Try to visualize the environment too. Jiro. I know. Doing a double kick. Izuku could only dodge the first kick, and although she covered the other one with her hand, she had won. Izuku. 13 minutes, you almost didn't make it. Hitting Jiro with a bat. Jiro. Thank you, while blushing a little. Seiya dodging Todoroki's ice, don't you think they've become very agile? Kiro. Todoroki. Don't get distracted, freezing his feet lost because he was distracted. Seiya. Damn Kiro. Next up was Yaoyorozu Momo, Izuku had a bad feeling about what would happen next. After 15 min. Izuku. Stop thinking about it, more agility, you waste a lot of energy on unnecessary hits, try new routes, new movements, while giving him some advice and hitting him little on the head. Momo just kept looking down. Alm. Well, time's up, stay at home and young Bakugo control that temper, while he went to Asawa's to grade some papers. In the departments. Mina. Wow, that bath was really regenerative. And where did he say we should meet for our next training session? Jiro. He gave us a whole week's vacation, he said while lying down on the sofa with headphones. Mina. Great. We can watch that series we've been wanting so much, Momo. Come here, Momo. Jiro. Not here. Where did she go? Is she sad because she didn't pass Izuku's test, said the pink-haired girl while she lifted her sleeves to go look for her. Jiro. She's running on the court, I suggest you don't bother her, she's a little delicate. Mina. But we are a team, what's wrong with Izuku? Angry. Jiro. Think about it, if we went right now, we would only make her feel weak, just let things happen. Turning on the TV. Izuku's pav. That idiot. I told her to take a week off with the girls and she's still running around the court. It's been 4 hours and she hasn't stopped. I went to get something to eat in the cafeteria and while I was eating my dessert, I went to see if she was still on the court. Surprise. The idiot was still there after 6 hours. I called Kyoka to heat up some hot water and to make sure there was enough room in the living room to remove the carpet because the whole floor was going to get wet. They were hesitant at first, but then I put on a deep voice and asked for it again. Jiro only said a few words, saying he'd have it ready in 15 minutes. Then pav. Izuku. So you lasted 7 hours. Looking at Momo lying on the floor. Momo. I want to be strong like them with crystal clear eyes. Izuku. Holding Momo like a princess, you're already strong, you don't need to get ahead of yourself. Momo. Io blushed profusely, with sunstroke and muscle aches. She slowly fell asleep in his arms. Izuku arriving at the room angry. Mina. What happened? Looking at Izuku. Jiro. I guessed it and now we have to take care of her. Well, he went for the pot of hot water. Izuku. No. Go to sleep, I'll take care of it. With a voice of few friends. The two went to their room, obviously they couldn't get to sleep because of their friend's condition, but Izuku laid her down on a blanket in the living room and began to soak rags on her forehead again. Jiro's pav. 4 hours have passed since Izuku started dealing with Momo, but he's still awake. I dozed off in between so I could come out and see him still awake. After a while, he looked like an angry mother with her stupid daughter. Well, after a moment, I fell asleep and the worry left my mind because of that beautiful scene. Then pav. Of Mina. I drank a lot of water to go to the bathroom every 20 minutes and saw how he was sitting next to Momo. I wanted to make sure he didn't do anything individual and also the state of my friend. Well, that was until I noticed he was spying and told me to go to sleep with a creepy voice. Before closing the door to my room I saw him put out a candle and turn off the light so Momo could sleep peacefully. They looked like mother and daughter, well it would be father and daughter. She saw him use his tail, soaking it and using it as a rag on Momo's body. That will leave a horrible smell. Then pav. Momo's pav. I was scared all night, scared of being alone. But I saw a strange shadow while I was changing my cloths and wiping the sweat off my body. I could only see how he sat next to me and carefully looked after me. I think it was Todoroki. Why do I think about him? It was a feeling of peace and confidence, a maternal sensation that filled that day. At first I struggled to sleep, but then I fell asleep. All I could feel was someone watching over me. Then pav. 3 heartbeats. Of Izuku. I spent this whole stupid night with the overprotected girl Momo Yaoyorozu. Well, I must admit she has a great and incredibly shaped body. That doesn't mean I had to dirty my adorable and cuddly tail to take care of her. The night passed and she seemed restless, apparently she had never been sick outside the home. She mumbled meaningless words and at times seemed to be trying to get up. One way or another I continued with the treatment. 30 minutes passed, it was 11 p.m. and I watched Mina hover, pretending to go to the bathroom. But anyone in their right mind goes to the bathroom every 15 minutes. If it were true that she had to go, it meant she was drinking too much water to make it. Mina, go to sleep now. I know you're exaggerating by drinking water. I said firmly, while I saw Mina head to her room. Well, that's what I thought. On the other hand, Jiro continued watching me. That lasted exactly 1 hour and then he left. I think sleep overcame him. 2 p.m. The night was so quiet, the young woman was calmer, more stable, but that didn't take away the fact that she was still murmuring. From one moment to the next, Todoroki. Did I hear correctly? Todoroki said, right. I wanted to leave at that moment. The truth is that phrase annoyed me too much for me to get up and go to my room to rest anyway. I think that's enough now. But suddenly, I saw her starting to cry from inertia. She really needed someone by her side. I thought about waking Jiro up to do it, or even Mina, but they were already fast asleep. What does she expect me to do? Without a second thought, I placed her head on my lap, my tail tucked into her blanket, covering her completely. I stroked her black hair in the full moonlight. For hours on end, I watched her tears stop and I watched her face grow calmer. Thinking about it, this scene reminded me of how Rina did the same thing when I overdid my training. On one hand, I knew it was my fault for not seeing how she was stagnating, but on the other, I was happy for helping me remember my teacher. Dinpov. The next day. Mina. I'm late, dressing quickly to catch her first class. Izuku. Wait Mina, I can take you he said while eating alone at the table. Mina. What happened to you? You look like a rag. And your tail? Why did you bandage it? Izuku. My tail. Well, it was because of Momo, I won't tell you the details standing up as he addressed her. Izuku. Don't tell Momo about this okay? Now then. Help me cover it with this bandage and we'll go. Mina. Well, finally I can touch your tail, but I would prefer that you let me touch it when it is fluffy. Looking at the very destroyed tail. Izuku. Maybe one day, now settle for this. Turning his back so he can do it. Don't press so hard, it's sensitive said the green-haired boy as he tightly gripped the chair he leaned against. 5 min later. Mina. Okay, I think that will be enough, shall we go? Izuku. You don't think it's safe, do you? Mina. I think I tied it up well, are we going now? Izuku. Well, take my hand. Mina. Your hand. Is it the only way? Read at Izuku's request. Izuku. Well if you don't want to be late. Mina. No wait, I'm going with you she quickly grabbed his hand, teleporting to the classroom. In the classroom. Mineta. I think there's a new couple in the room. Laughing lasciviously as he watched Mina holding hands with a hexy handsome green-haired black-sided, no homo. Everyone looked back at the classroom, where a pink-haired girl was holding Izuku's arm tightly. Izuku. Mina, hey, we're in the classroom now, he whispered while trying to get her off him. Mina. I'm sorry, I saw how everything was empty while we were teleporting and well blushing, removing the young man's hand. Momo. I thought you weren't coming Mina, you too Midoriya. She said subtly, apparently she woke up in her room and thought that everything that had happened the day before was a dream. Lita. Sit down, classes are about to begin. The day passed peacefully, the green-haired boy just stood around because his tail was sensitive and he was afraid someone would step on it. During break. Jiro. How are you feeling Momo? Do you think you can train today? Momo. What do you mean? I'm doing great. Speaking of which, today wasn't the day for a test Almight was going to give at the end of class. Todoroki. That was yesterday a little discouraged because Toru didn't come to class today. Shoji. We saw how everyone has advanced a lot with the training, even Mineta. Since yesterday he has been training so as not to fall behind while eating in his seat. Momo. That means that looking at Todoroki out of the corner of her eye. Mina. You were really bad yesterday. Izuku stayed nothing, right Jiro? Momo. What happened yesterday, you mentioned Midoriya. She thought it was Todoroki who took care of him. Jiro was going to tell her until he saw Mina's deep dark gaze. Jiro. Mina, do you want me to go shopping with you at the cafeteria? Mina. Yes, let's go. As they left Mina whispered to Momo silly. Momo remained thoughtful, trying to figure out what her mistake was in that conversation. She couldn't figure out what had happened. Her memories only went back to the moment she fell on the field. Haminari. Hey, do you know where Kyoka is? I want to ask her something urgently. Ichako. We saw her leaving with Mina towards the cafeteria. Haminari. Thank you as he walked out with a smile from ear to ear. Ichako. Why does she look so happy? Hiroshima. He's going to confess to Jiro, seriously. Itsuki. That idiot, a girlfriend is a waste of time. He thought as he watched Izuku leave. In the cafeteria. Haminari. Kyoka, I found you. With gasp, happily. Jiro. What's wrong, can't you see we're eating? Haminari. I need to talk to you urgently. Jiro. You can say it here, I'm waiting for Mina to buy some Duchess. Haminari. No. Not here there are too many people. Jiro. Okay. Behind the school. Haminari. Would you go out with me this Saturday to the insert favorite music concert? Jiro. Okay, I was planning to go with Mina and invite Momo was interrupted. Haminari. No. Not that kind of walk, I want us to go out as boyfriend and girlfriend. Jiro tensed up at that moment, she had never had a boyfriend or a romance that harmed her mind, she had rejected him many times, but this time was different. Jiro. Yes. But until Saturday comes, you have no right to talk to me, I want to mentally prepare myself for this. Haminari. Of course, he listens as the bell rings, announcing the next hour. Haminari. Let's go. Pointing. Jiro. No, I'm going to the bathroom, I think it was too many emotions, I want to wet my face hiding his jacks. Haminari. Okay. Jiro. That jerk confessed to me, and I don't know why I said yes. Could it be that I actually have feelings for him? This is going to be my first date ever. It has to be perfect. Soaking his jacks. Because my jacks feel hot. Is it because I was too embarrassed? They don't cool down, damn it. Class is starting in minutes. Then Pav. Izuku enters the women's bathroom to see Jiro, obviously she was the only one there. Since everyone was already in their respective classrooms. Izuku. Here, soak them with this water that was left over from the other day, throwing a bottle at them. Jiro. You heard everything, right? Ignoring the fact that he entered the women's bathroom. Izuku. You have a good sense of hearing. But yes, I heard his confession just now. Jiro. Why did you do it? Izuku. What thing? Trying to uncurl his tail to get air. Jiro. Ring the bell before time. I heard your teleportation, you make a little noise when you do it. Izuku. What surprise. Do you really want to know? Washing his tail. Jiro. Yes, there is something you are hiding, or are you going to hide something from me like you did from Momo? Angry. Izuku. Me, Momo. It's for her own good. Imagine if she found out that because of her my tail lost some fur and got damaged, she would feel guilty. Jiro. But isn't that the reason why you have to do it? What do you think about her? Realizing that Momo was listening to the entire conversation behind a bathroom door. Izuku also knew she was in there, but he pretended not to have noticed, his big animal ears obviously had her in mind. Izuku. She's as devil as you three. He said while Kyoka slowly got angry and Momo wanted to cry seriously. Izuku. But. She's made a lot of progress lately, she's dedicated, good at studying, and I really like her way of speaking, it's like very fine and elegant. I just like her. Momo was surprised, no one in her life had ever said something like that to her, well, even though it was hidden and they didn't say it to her face, she had a smile from ear to ear. Izuku. Piro. Jiro. But. Looking in the mirror. Izuku. They're just as stupid as you all. Thinking they'll get better overnight, they worry me. He said in a whisper, so only Jiro heard the last sentence. Jiro. It's your fault. Izuku. Whatever, I'm leaving. I already gave you what I wanted to give you. Jiro. Wait. Taking his hand. Izuku. What happened? Is it still burning? Jiro. No, not that, you still haven't explained to me why you rang the bell before. Izuku. I'll just tell you once, I'm not a messenger, nor do I want you to get mad at me. It's a friend-to-friend advice. Jiro. Speak up already, stop holding him. Izuku. It's about Kaminari, I know it's none of my business, but I don't want you to get your hopes up too much. Jiro. What do you mean? Izuku. Just no nothing, it's a couple thing and I don't have to tell you. I'm not the one who's going out with him leaving the bathroom. Jiro. Hey. Thanks getting the boys' attention. Jiro. Thanks for the bottle, you saved me. Izuku. Ah, that's it, let me know if it happens again. See you later. 5 minutes later. Jiro. Momo is already gone, you can come out now. Momo. You knew it. And why did you ask those strange questions with an exalted voice? Jiro. Well, I couldn't stand seeing you depressed while he was leaving fool. Of Momo. I watched as Izuku left the classroom moments before Kaminari ran off to the cafeteria. I didn't know what was going on, but the most important thing was to ask Midoriya face to face about yesterday. I was still intrigued, and above all. Mina's words echoed in my mind. I couldn't understand, out of inertia I chased Midoriya, but after a moment he disappeared, is that weird? I was walking around, but then I saw Kaminari confessing his love to Kyoka, I didn't want to interrupt. I quickly headed to the nearest bathroom to think about what happened today. Because I don't understand, if only I could remember a little of yesterday. At that moment Jiro came in, washing her jacks. For some reason I didn't go out to greet her, it was a woman's instinct. Just as I was determined to leave, I heard Midoriya's voice echoing throughout the girls' restroom. What are you doing? I heard him say, only giving her water for her jacks. I didn't quite understand what that water was. For a moment I thought it was holy water. I continued to listen to their slightly tense conversation. Suddenly, I saw Jiro ask how he saw me. Just when he told me I was weak, I started to tear up a little. The truth is I don't care what he thinks anymore. Just then I decided to leave the bathroom until I heard all his praise. I had never heard anything so sweet before, my heart was beating rapidly, I was truly happy that someone as strong as Midoriya saw me like that. I felt like the memories of that heavy night came back to me, how he slowly caressed my forehead, my hair. His tail so tufted that at one point I even used it as a pillow. He doesn't care anymore. Let him use her like that. I was the worst person in the world to have forgotten something like that. Well, that expression on my face only lasted a few seconds before he threw all his kind words away, calling me stupid. What should I do? Vinpav. I spend the day normally in classes. Izuku. How about some of you guys have a Saturday training session? Today's practice is going to be very simple, so you'll be as motivated as possible that day. Also, next Monday, we'll be training with Quick, so read the books I gave you carefully. Mina. What books? Izuku. In the living room, you will find books with training suggestions to improve your Quick. Momo. Hey Izuku, can we talk later today? Izuku. I don't know why you're asking. But if you want, knock on my room so we can talk any questions. Trying to see Mina so they can change the conversation. Mina. Doesn't your butt hurt? Leaving a tense atmosphere in the room. Izuku. Well, ignoring Mina, let's begin. With a bit of a happy mood, it seemed the poor greenish black-haired boy was forgetting his past. He had gotten a bit used to his new life. Jiro. Can you wait for me? Climbing a very high wall. Izuku. You're the only one making this difficult for him. Mina. Did you forget Momo? Izuku. Momo is ahead. Mina, she passed you a little while ago. Mina. Seriously? Climbing faster. The particular group was climbing a training wall, located in the academy training field. If that weren't enough, Momo's character was more serious. It seemed as if something or someone had made him change. Izuku. Momo, go slow, take it easy. Momo. Aye. Momo had slipped, but luckily for her, Izuku had grabbed her with his tail. Although it caused them a little pain, she didn't mind at all. Mina was worried about Midoriya, although Jiro, being further behind them, Mina observed the pained face Izuku had at the moment of the grab. Already in the apartment. Momo. Izuku, I'm really sorry, I got carried away. Izuku. Don't worry, Momo usually passes, and you weren't hurt. Mina watched and listened to that cliched dialogue. Mina had slowly fallen in love with Midoriya, but she mistook that feeling for admiration. He always helped her train and also looked after them. Confused about what was okay and what she shouldn't think about, she simply went to her room to rest. Jiro. Mina went to bed early, that's weird. Momo. It's the one that encourages the most fun, I think one day it will be good to rest. Jiro. Whatever, I'm going to take a shower, and you, Momo, goods. Momo. No, I want to talk to Izuku about something extremely important. Jiro. Just don't get upset, okay, you're not the only one living here going off to take a rejuvenating bath. Moments later. Momo. Izuku, can I come in? Knocking on the entrance of his room. Izuku. Go ahead, come in. Momo. Amazing, your room is so empty, I can imagine you sleep standing up. Izuku. Just imagine the opposite, with posters of many heroes stuck on the wall, laughing ironically. Momo. Yeah, that would be weird. Hey, getting back to the topic. Momo slowly sat down in the middle of the room, gesturing so Izuku could sit across from her. She had expressed herself clearly, to the point. Apologizing for her attitude and then beginning to sob from nerves. Izuku. Come on Momo, don't be like that, you know the truth, it doesn't matter looking away. Momo. It doesn't matter, I hurt you, I forced you to take care of me all night. Look at your tail. She sobbed as she collapsed. Izuku was surprised, she had raised her voice, she had worried about our protagonist without hesitation, he hugged her slowly. Momo burst into tears as the green-haired boy stroked her sweet, soft, long hair. Izuku. Okay, you understand. It's not worth crying over. Momo. But I'm still weak. Izuku. But one day you will be strong and a great heroine, pretending interest, trying to handle the situation, analyzing and finally understanding what path to take so that she can improve herself. Momo. You're lying. Of course not, I promise, feigning interest in what she was about to say. Momo. Will you be there to take care of me when the day comes? With her gaze down, she had asked a slightly embarrassing and compromising question without realizing it. Izuku. Of course, it's not relevant, you could take care of yourself at that point, I don't think you need me all the time. Momo quickly pounced on the boy, stealing his first kiss. It was swift and deadly. You could say it was a child's kiss. It was simply their first kiss. She quickly separated and ran out of the room, leaving a green-haired man stunned, confused, and thoughtful. Of Momo. At first, I didn't know what these feelings were, I was very confused about what I felt for him. But it was the moment of heat, right? Ai. Screaming into his favorite pillow while kicking all over the room. My first kiss, I finally got it, it's not how I imagined, but I'm satisfied. It's not like I can claim anything from him, I was the one who endorsed it in the first place. Vinpov. That day Momo continued thinking for 10 minutes while she slowly fell asleep in her bed. On the other hand, Izuku looked at the window while thinking about how to react tomorrow when he sees it. What they think. I'm so sorry. It's been 2.5 months since I entered the academy. At first, I thought I'd be just another hero out of obligation. Though, lately, I've started getting used to student life at the academy. classes, breaks, and homework I'd usually say it's difficult, but once I get the hang of it, it feels really easy to be here. On the other hand, I rarely return to my apartment every Saturday. The city overwhelms me. Cars, heroes, people, and pollution. I just need a break sometimes. My anxiety about killing has decreased a lot lately. Well, I used to do it out of necessity and also as a form of physical training, but ever since I arrived at the academy, the number of times I've killed someone is very few. For a moment, I thought that life at the academy wasn't so bad. Socializing with classmates, having fun from time to time, and Roman. My useless teammates have grown quite close to me, so I guess it was bound to happen sooner or later. Mina, for example, is very funny and having a conversation with her is easy. On the other hand, Kyoka is a complex girl. I almost never understand her. She only takes off her headphones during practice and during class. From then on, it seems like she always tries to ignore me, although lately we've established a friendly relationship. And finally, there's Momo. This stupid girl, I don't have much to say about her, except that sooner or later I'll report her for rape. And to think that my first kiss would be with her. I don't know what to make of her. She looks charming, intelligent, and she's even making an effort to physically catch up with her classmates. I wouldn't say I'm in love, I'm just confused. Falling in love isn't an option for someone like me. Nara Kyoka. I thought about being a heroine for convenience, I never thought it would be so hard. I must admit that when I saw Kiminari in the classroom I felt safe. He has been a friend forever, but he just doesn't go with me. What does he see in me? I'm not one of those girls with a bulky body, sometimes I think he's just using me, even so lately I've felt attracted to him. I recently accepted his proposal to go on a date with him. I don't have anything to wear, I don't know what to wear. I've never gone out for an occasion like this before. I don't know whether to wear my casual clothes or try something more feminine. I thought about asking Yaoyorozu or Mina for help. Both are perfect for this occasion. The warning Midoriya gave me is haunting every thought in my mind. I haven't been able to listen to music or concentrate on today's training. I've been trying to gather information, but it still doesn't add up. I tried chasing Kaminari to see where he's headed after the academy, and all I know is that he leaves 3 hours earlier. It doesn't add up. Izuku on the other hand cares a lot about us, he has strengthened all of us. Sometimes I can see how lonely he can be. He is hiding something from us and our companions. Mina tells. How fun life is at the academy, always with friends, having fun, making jokes, and also love. Ever since our new classmate Midoriya came, the moment he arrived, I saw his adorable tail. I wanted to pet it, sleep on it. Usually, training is exhausting, and some of our classmates were against it. As time went by, every time they asked, I would get slightly angry. He looked after us and no one noticed. Momo is friendly and a good friend, but sometimes she's very distracted. Jiro, on the other hand, is very friendly and innocent. Just like Momo, there's no way to talk about love with them. Are they weird? Speaking of Jiro, I heard that Toru had seen Kaminari with a girl from the bee salon. According to his descriptions, she had a mushroom-like hairstyle. She was like Uraraka, but her hairstyle was more exaggerated. What was her name? I think I forgot her name. Without realizing it, during the training, my heart was beating very fast. I didn't know what was making me feel like that. It was the first time something like that had happened to me. My blush went unnoticed because of my skin tone. The cause Midoriya, it's not his fault for being like me. I'm pink, and he's a rare mutant. Last night I went to sleep thinking about my feelings. I already remembered her name was Kanoko Komori. I think that's what it was. Narrated by Momo. I kissed him, 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 for 20 more paragraphs. I always thought my type was someone like Todoroki, but lately we haven't seen each other very often because of the apartments, plus he's too cold with everyone. Apparently I couldn't break his wall. Wild memory appears from the kiss. I can't believe it. I can't believe that I did something like that. Midoriya is not as bad a guy as some judge. He has taken care of us a lot lately, and it seems that he always has us under surveillance at every moment. His training is very hard, but thanks to that we have strengthened as a team. His figure is so slender, his greenish hair and his adorable ears. I forgot about his tail. How will I talk to him tomorrow? I kissed him, 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 for 20 more paragraphs, murmuring in her bed, falling palely asleep. The Sawanera. The students are stupid, I get bored every minute. But I have to be on full alert. The student Izuku Midoriya, according to Nezu, has to be kept under close surveillance. The truth is I don't know what he plans to do, but we have to be aware. It is said that there is someone infiltrated belonging to the League of Villains. Nezu, I take desperate measures. Putting Midoriya in the care of those 3 girls, who have nothing special. Just to confuse the blessed infiltrator is something crazy. But what we have to do is wait for All Might to train the next pillar. We have to resist. If the League of Villains attacks again, they will go after one of the 3 girls, thinking that one of them is the heir of One for All. I didn't think Nezu would make such a drastic decision. In life you have to take risks. Nara Almight. Young Bakugo's training is going excellently. He can currently withstand 9% of his power throughout his entire body. Sometimes, when Nomura tests him, he manages to unleash 14% without breaking a bone. Besides having his original explosive quick, he's a highly capable hero, although I don't much like his attitude. Nezu contacted me one morning, telling me about a supposed infiltrator in the academy. Setting up a dorm system, deceiving him that one of those girls with young Midoriya is the next carrier. At first glance, I refused. If something were to happen to those girls I don't want to think about it. Young Midoriya isn't trustworthy, I can see it in his eyes. Ever since he came to the academy, his way of acting, addressing others, and cooperating with his teammates has been very different from the others. On the one hand, he's a bit mature for his age. At first, I only noticed the loneliness in his eyes. Little by little, he stopped acting out his personality and formed a very empathetic one. I wonder what will happen. Naranezu. Ectoplasm's information has left me very uneasy. Recently, I learned about a supposed infiltrator. The League of Villains is trying to wipe out the next generations to break through, or so I thought. When I heard from All Might that he had passed on his powers to a young man named Kitsuki Bakugo, everything started to fall into place. The puzzle was assembled, apparently it was all part of their plan, but what they didn't expect was that mysterious young man Midoriya. At first I could see how he pretended to be polite, kind, and at times he seemed like a caring boy. But I could see behind his deceptions, his forced look indicated that he had been through different situations. His gaze was firm, worthy of a murderer. I thought he was one of them. But apparently he's on our side. I let him into the academy on the condition that he inform me everything early this morning. He told me he was raped. Sometimes I think it was a joke. But moments later he sent me a file, via Gmail, with a complaint document against Momo Yaoyorozu for rape. I simply ignored it and went to sleep. Nara read. Since the new students started, a lot of things have happened, but luckily, they haven't made things difficult for me. I feel a little sorry for the girls, but lately I've noticed an improvement in their practice. I don't want to admit it, but they seem to be getting better. Uraraka is as beautiful as ever, always so cheerful, and with a smile as fine as the air. Although she is not a girl with great combat skills, she always helps us when we need it. Midoriya is a little, how do I put it? A little strange, I can't explain it, but his way of speaking and his way of seeing the situation is somewhat intense. It's a little scary. Todoroki narrates. Lately I've seen Bakugo hanging out with All Might, they have something going on. On the other hand, Momo seems to be a little more distant than she used to be in comparison. It seems that Midoriya's training takes up most of their time, causing them to be tired during the day and unable to speak to her clearly. Hiro is a very cheerful, calm, and friendly girl. She sometimes likes to criticize people. But it's a very sweet habit. It seems she envies them deep down in her heart. Currently, our relationship is very close, as is Bakugo's. I consider him a close friend rival. End of the stories. It was Friday afternoon, after All Might and Asawa's teachers' evaluation, the group headed to their departments. Their results on that test were very impressive to all the members and observers. On the other hand, everyone was too tired to give an opinion or criticize their performance. In the departments. Momo. Izuku, I'm going to prepare the food, Mina can come too, call Kyoka to accompany us. Since the kiss scene, Momo has been calling Midoriya by his name, and not to mention her behavior. It seems that she has become very close to the green-haired man. In the morning I saw Midoriya talking to Momo about something, since then Momo has been acting very strange. You understand me? Friday night. It was Friday night. Mina went to call Jiro as Momo said, but… Mina. Kyoka, come out of your room. Momo already made the snack and Midoriya is already sitting knocking on the door firmly. Jiro. I'm going, just give me a while. Mina. What are you doing? We'll wait for you, okay, withdrawing suspiciously. Moments later. Jiro. Thanks for waiting for me, you didn't have to. Momo. Why did you take so long? Izuku. Leave her alone, she has her reasons, grabbing his cutlery and immediately pointing for everyone to calm down. Jiro gives her a nod of thanks for changing the subject. The food was edible. Mina and Jiro's faces showed some disgust, but they ate it anyway. Izuku. It was very good, thanks Momo, you didn't have to bother. Mina. If you didn't have to bother with a bit of double meaning. Momo. No, nothing's wrong, I just felt like I had to thank you all for everything, I'm glad you liked it, covering the blush on her face a little. Jiro. Thanks Momo. Well, I have to go. See you tomorrow. Everyone stared at her in confusion. What was wrong with Jiro? she seemed nervous, discouraged. The night passed, and it was exactly 8 p.m. Mina went to sleep quickly. It was the first time in months that she slept so early and without body aches. On the other hand, Momo slept sitting up in her bed. She was planning what her next move would be, but even cooking plus the little training exhausted her too much to fall into a deep sleep. Jiro. Since we finished training, luckily Izuku let us go early. I'm glad he was aware of my condition. I headed to my room to practice how to put on makeup and what to wear tomorrow. Ah, how annoying, I yelled. Shortly after, I tried to put on makeup by myself. Because I'm a mess, she cried in front of the mirror, covered in ink all over her face, unable to apply even a single shadow under her beautiful eyes. Let alone lipstick. At that moment, Mina struck, telling her to come downstairs so she could eat. It seems strange to me that Momo cooked, but this is not the time to think about that. Come on, Mina, give me 4 minutes, I shouted, while quickly looking for water to wash my face. I won't let them know, and Mina doesn't have to know either. The food was so-so, average. I thought it would be worse. I would say it was neither good nor bad. I quickly headed to my room to sort everything out. But it's been 1 hour and 30 minutes, and I haven't done anything. I quickly thought about calling him to cancel our date, but I didn't have the courage to do it. Soon after, I was muttering, what did he see in me? I sobbed. Vinpav. The moment she began to cry silently, a green-haired man opened her bedroom window. Izuku. What a mess of a person, looking at the room all in disarray, cables everywhere, and the most notable thing. A girl with her hands on her knees sobbing. Jiro. Go away, don't you see I'm busy, I shout with euphoria. Izuku. Yes, I see, and it seems that it will take you much longer sitting on the bed. Jiro. What do you want? Are you here to make fun of us? Izuku. I think you're exaggerating. Jiro. Then tell me what you came for. Izuku. What do you think? I couldn't sleep, I could hear you crying from my room, it was inevitable that he came. Jiro. Just get lost. Izuku sat in front of her. Jiro attacked him with his jacks, but unfortunately failed in the attempt and began to cry harder. Izuku. I can help you, looking away. Jiro. What, giving up? Izuku. No, you fool, you know. I knew this was going to happen from the start. Teleporting and returning to Jiro's room, but with a makeup set that had just been stolen from a store. Izuku. I was sure you needed help, but I didn't think you wouldn't have clothes for the occasion. Jiro. Yes, and now that you have the instruments, but I don't see anyone who can help me. Izuku. Calm down, come sit in front of me, pointing to a cushion he had placed. At first she flatly refused, but she had nothing to lose. She lost all hope and just nodded. Izuku. First, let's wash your whole face by soaking her tail and then passing it over her face. Jiro. But, you didn't have to do it with your cabbage. Izuku. Now look ahead and close your eyes, I don't let her finish. 30 minutes of suspense passed, the impatient Jiro became more and more nervous. Izuku. I don't know why you want to put on makeup if you already look good without it finishing done. Izuku. Here, it's a mirror. Jiro couldn't believe it when he saw herself, she was perfect, it seemed as if she wasn't her. Jiro. Izuku, where did you learn to do this? Looking at him in disbelief. Izuku. My old teacher, my grandmother taught me, she taught me how to sneak around people and be noticed. Well, at first it was too hard for me, but I think I still have the gift, giving him a thumbs up. Izuku. Well, now wash up. Jiro. What? You're crazy. It's a waste, I don't want it. Puffing out his cheeks like a girl. Izuku. You have to, you can't sleep with that painted on, come on, I'll see you. Minutes later she washed with disgust, she wanted to sleep with it on. Izuku. Well, now all you need is the perfect outfit. Jiro. About that, I think I'll go dressed in this. It was a cute purple dress, a little strange for her. Izuku. Really? Those clothes don't keep you warm at all, he thought, take this for when it gets cold, taking out a black jacket with small chains hanging from it. If you wear that dress in the afternoon it will be cold, you know. Jiro. Thank you, with a slightly noticeable blush, you look like my mom. Izuku. Well, that's all, tomorrow is a big day, do you want tea? Jiro. Yeah, let's go. By the time they got down to the kitchen, she seemed very happy. No worries, now all she needed was to get to sleep. The excitement wasn't going to let her sleep peacefully, but… Jiro. You know, I really appreciated having a green tea. Izuku. Well, you don't have to. Jiro. I think I had a bad thought about you falling asleep at the table. Izuku. Silly, he picked her up like a princess and took her to his room so she could sleep soundly. At first he thought about putting more lavender fragments on her so she would stay asleep all day tomorrow, but he couldn't. She looked so excited, what if he was wrong? He didn't want someone who had just opened their heart to him for the first time to suffer. He only put what was necessary for her to sleep alone tonight without worry something wasn't right in him. His instinct knew that something horrible was going to happen to her tomorrow. Izuku. I hope nothing happens, laying her down on her bed slowly, then covering her up. He left in total silence. The day after. The appointment was at 1 p.m. in the park, but. Jiro, eating. Quick Izuku, we're going to be late talking with my mouth full and standing. Izuku. Calm down, hey, do you know it's at 1? Look at the time, it's 8 a.m, there's still plenty of time. Mina. What did I miss? Where are you going? Jiro. It's nothing. Looking away. Izuku. Mina and Momo, can you do me a favor? Momo. What happened? Izuku. Can you stay inside the academy today? Mina. No. I wanted to go to the movies with Momo. Izuku. Do it for me. Making such an adorable face. They. Okay, but you owe us one retiring to their rooms. Jiro. They do obey you watching the scene cautiously. Izuku. I have pending tasks today. Jiro finished eating quickly and immediately packed his bag. A while later, he took a shower, straightened his dress, and called Izuku. Izuku. Okay, come sit down. Jiro. Okay, she looked like a little girl and her mother, she was happy. Izuku. Do you know what time to arrive? Jiro. If before 11 p.m. Izuku. If you take any longer I'll come looking for you, you heard while he was putting on her makeup. Jiro. You don't have to say it 3 times a day. Izuku. Well you're here and. Jiro looked at herself in the mirror and saw herself as really beautiful, she was simply so happy. Jiro. Thank you. Thank you, really. Grabbing his things and leaving immediately. Mina and Momo watched her leave. Mina. I didn't know I was so feminine. Momo. You have something to do. Izuku looking at him in a murderous way. Izuku. No. But I'm going out too. Momo. Where are you going? Looking at him attentively. Mina too. Izuku. To take care of an idiot. Leaving while saying train while I'm gone. It was 12:45 and Jiro had arrived 15 minutes early, eagerly awaiting her date, sitting on a shaded bench. But without noticing, Izuku was up on top of a building, sipping a soda, spying. Izuku. How strange. They're going right now, it's time, what is the idiot doing? Looking around. He quickly teleported to all the locations, looking for any signs of the yellow-haired boy. He couldn't see anything. He used more energy to travel further and couldn't see them until. He saw Kaminari walking hand in hand with a girl from Class B. Izuku. I think the idiot got 2 dates at once while he was watching the scene. Of Kaminari. And to think Kanoto asked me out today. Well, I have nothing to do. I quickly got dressed and ran out. I greeted Lita happily and headed to the living room to eat for a while. Apparently the news announced rain for today. How strange. It seems I was forgetting something, but for some reason I couldn't remember. My girlfriend called to confirm that I would be at the plaza near a beach to hang out. I was so happy. Vinpav. Kaminari. Okay Lita, I'm leaving grabbing an umbrella to leave. Uraraka. Is that it? Kaminari. Yeah, my girlfriend called me out on an impromptu date. Isn't that great? Scratching his head. Lita. Girlfriend. I thought you had other plans today. Kaminari. Other plans? What do you mean? Uraraka immediately covered Lita's mouth with her hand, causing Lita to turn red. Kaminari. If you want some time alone in the house, you shouldn't have told me more clearly. Leaving quickly. Uraraka. No, good luck on your date. The moment he left full. Lita. What's going on? Why did you cover my mouth? Removing Uraraka's hand. Uraraka. Send a message to Midoriya, I think some tears will rain today. Lita. We could just tell Kaminari about his date with Jiro. Uraraka. You can't be that stupid, right? If he completely forgot, do you think he has the right to know? Looking angrily at Lita. Lita. I think I'll leave it to Midoriya. Scratching his head. A real man doesn't forget such things. Andres. Let's get back to Izuku. Izuku was stunned, watching the scene from a building until a message arrived on his phone. Hi, I'm Lita, the class president. If you're wondering why I have your number, presidential privileges. Well, I wanted to let you know that Kaminari won't be going on his date with Jiro. Can you prevent anything bad from happening? Izuku. This fool. Hello Lita, thanks for letting me know. If I already saw him with a girl from Class B, please inform me quickly about something I don't know, thanks. Finishing his text. Well, do you know it's going to rain today? Wrote Lita. Izuku. I think he didn't know that. Quickly heading to where Jiro was. It was 1:30 p.m. and Jiro was still standing there, impatient for her to arrive. Meanwhile, Izuku was looking down from atop a building, thinking of all the possible ways to start a conversation with her. Another hour passed and Jiro kept moving her feet while she sat, looking around to see if he would arrive. She wondered if something happened to him. Izuku teleported up the tree where she was, but he couldn't say anything, she didn't notice. People were passing by, children were strolling. It was slowly getting colder. It was already 3 p.m. and there was no sign of him arriving. Izuku went down with her and sat down next to her. They didn't say anything to each other, people were starting to leave because of the rain. Jiro put on the jacket that Izuku gave her, but it wasn't enough. At that moment Izuku put his jacket on top of it to cover her better. Jiro. Hey, do you think he'll come? What if something happens to him? He asked with his eyes crystal clear. Izuku. I don't think anything happened to him, you know. Jiro. I'll wait a little longer, she said harshly. As the rain fell heavily, her makeup had been ruined by a few small tears. But she wasn't wet at all. Izuku's tail was covering her like a portable umbrella. Another hour passed and Jiro began to cry a little louder. At that moment Izuku grabbed her with his tail and put her on his back. Jiro. I think I can walk alone. Trying not to cry. Izuku. Don't talk, you're ruining the moment. At that moment she began to cry like never before. Izuku's tail covered her completely while she cried on the green-haired boy's back. People passed by and saw the beautiful scene, she continued to cry a little more. Izuku arrived at a store and without putting her down, he asked for an umbrella. He left and then signaled to Jiro, who was still on his back, to cover himself with the umbrella. He continued walking, strolling through the shops. Customers blushed at the sight of the sting on his back. They then saw some elementary school children performing a performance inside the mall, featuring Almight against a villain. Izuku kept taking her to strange places. They saw a very strange battery source. He wouldn't let her off his back for any reason. They entered an arcade. Izuku. Can you get off so we can play for a while? I asked him while looking at the fighting machines. Jiro. No, I don't want to get off yet. But I do want that stuffed animal. He pointed at a machine hated by all men. Izuku held it with only his tail and then pulled out the plush, or so it seemed. The truth is, Izuku was so bad at this game that he already knew he was going to fail at the beginning. The truth is, he still had his mother's very weak quick. And just as the claw came down, it seemed as if the plush would attach to the claw with ease. Jiro grabbed it and then settled back on our protagonist's back, hugging the stuffed animal vigorously. Izuku smiled and happily left. It was 10 o'clock and they were on top of a building near the concert Jiro wanted to go to. He was 100% sure Kaminari would be there, so they just stayed on top of the building. Jiro. Although, we're not up to the first song, we can still go to the last one, you know, hitting his back softly. Izuku. There's no point in going anymore, but now we'll stay here a while longer. Jiro. Why do you say that? Immediately afterward, fireworks came out of the stage. Izuku knew perfectly well that the band, in each performance, fireworks came out. Jiro and Izuku watched as the fireworks lit up the night. Jiro. Thanks for today, Izuku while hugging his back tightly. Izuku. Let's go home, while jumping from building to building. 12 buildings later. Jiro. Can you go slower? I wanted the moment not to end so quickly. Izuku. If you want, I can use my quick to get there faster. Jiro hit him hard. If I say that when we go out, it means I want the date to last longer, you understand, for the next one. He said while hiding his head in his tail. Izuku. So there will be another occasion. He muttered. Jiro. You know, I had a great time. I wanted my date with Kaminari to be perfect, but. Izuku. But. Getting off the building to walk to the academy. Jiro. I think I got lucky, hugging him tighter. Izuku. What do you mean? Jiro. If he had come, I would never have been able to meet the perfect person. Izuku. And what is that? Don't tell me that the umbrella seller captivated you. Playing dumb. Jiro. Idiot. Squeezing it even harder. I'll give you another clue. Izuku. Which one is it? Jiro. Right now I'm listening to music with him and I'm hugging him very tightly. She said, very embarrassed. Izuku. So it was me, huh? What makes you think I'm the right one? Jiro. Well, with everything you've done, I don't see the reason, murmuring to him. Izuku. You don't know me, why would you fall in love with me? Jiro. That's my line, stupid. Grabbing his ears. Izuku. I think you should talk to Momo about that. Jiro. She has nothing to do with it. Izuku. You just talk to her. Jiro. Okay, but you owe me an explanation. Now I want you to carry me with your hands fast. She said somewhat grumpily. Izuku. Well, will I place her like a princess in his hands? Jiro. I've never done it, you know. But I want you to. Izuku. If you kiss me I will report you for rape, he said dryly. Jiro didn't care about the warning and approached him slowly. Izuku. My lips are dry, it's going to hurt. I look at her. Jiro. It doesn't matter getting closer after that she kissed him slowly. Excluded. Of Kyoka. I thought if I opened my heart to this guy who's been with me since childhood, it would be fantastic. He'd ask me several times to be his girlfriend, to go on a date, but I was always scared. I tried several times to put on makeup, practice romantic comedy lines, and even imitate sundier characters, but it just wasn't my thing. I thought I'd be alone for the rest of my life. Time passed, and eventually my first choice for life was to enter UA Academy. To become an exceptional, stylish heroine, and of course, to try to tell the world I'm here. I didn't make it. I barely passed the entrance exam. There were extremely capable individuals, the stoic Bakugo, who later became my classmate, and the solitary Todoroki. They were some of the few who had surpassed everyone in physical ability, and Quirks was I a hero? I asked myself every night. When I saw Kaminari in the same classroom, I was excited inside. My good friend Kaminari, as we saw each other, we chatted and even listened to a song together. It was wonderful. Kaminari only cared about external relationships, having fun, going out for walks. He never worried about how I felt. He never asked me how I was doing at the academy. I think that was his mistake. Above all, he was my Quirk. He always avoided seeing them. It seemed like he hated them. Or so I thought for a long time. When Midori arrived, that's when my whole world changed from being a girl with a super low ranking. In just 2 months I felt like I really improved. He cared about us. I saw how Mina put on a perverted face while he didn't see her. Little by little I made an effort to change. His training was difficult but effective. Even though I don't have the same amount of time to spend with Kaminari, it was really worth training. The day was beautiful. There was no need to watch the weather on the news. You know why? The sun was shining brightly. It was as if an all-powerful being had taken pity on my date. You know the rest. I don't want to give you a long, drawn-out lecture about the details of how I fell in love, my first date, kiss, my first time. I don't think you've gotten to that point yet. Let me just tell you that I fainted. Vinpov. Jiro. And how was it? Letting go of the kiss. Izuku. I don't know, you tell me. Jiro. Ah, I know what's missing. He immediately put his headphones on his cell phone, shared an earbud and put on his favorite song, BMTH Band. Jiro. Now then, if you allow me, may I? Izuku. You already did it. No. In the complaint I will only say that you did it once. Jiro fell him with his soft lips while his jacks tangled in the green-haired boy's tail. His hands behind the green-haired boy's neck. It was perfect. Izuku broke the kiss. Jiro. What's wrong? A little worried. Izuku. Someone is following us. Jiro. Donned A1. Izuku teleported without hesitation to the UA Academy. For one reason, it wasn't just one person. He felt the presence of a real murderer. Jiro. I think that settles everything. Calming down from what happened. Izuku. Well, today was a bit of a hectic day, don't you think? Laughing a little. Jiro. Thanks for everything. Hey Yuhu. Izuku. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Momo. I'm not who you think I am. Jiro. Momo. Onasi. Izuku. Izuku. I think I'll tell you the same. I don't dislike you at all, but give me time. This is something sudden. While he put her on his back. Jiro. Yes, I think, let me try. Really, what was I thinking? I'm stupid, hahaha, someone like me. At that moment he gently lowered her from his back, and just as she was about to say something, he kissed her on the cheek. It was very tender. More tender than a kiss on the mouth. Izuku. I never said I didn't like you, I just said I'll think about it. Now go in and go to sleep. Jiro. Thank you. Hey Izuku, I won't give up. He ran off, quickly entering the apartment and immediately went to change his clothes to go to sleep. Although he couldn't fall asleep, he eventually fell asleep due to exhaustion. Meanwhile Izuku, elsewhere using his quick. Izuku. So there are some really striking people around here, saying in the same place where he encountered that presence. I see you're a man of culture. Up a pole. Izuku. My name is Izuku, it would be rude if you didn't tell me yours. Well, let me be rude for now. For now, I'll make you a request you can't refuse. Izuku. Something interesting. Why not? I was starting to get bored. What do you think about joining the League of Villains? Leaving a silence. Izuku. You tempt me, but for now I don't think it's possible. You'll know about us, we won't stop keeping an eye on you. Withdrawing from the place stealthily. The young man had been suggested to join a group of villains in the past, but he never felt threatened until today. Sunday afternoon. We could see a disheveled girl, her hair a mess. Momo. And those hours of getting up. Kyoka. Jiro. I arrived very late yesterday. Yawning. Mina. Leave her alone, Momo. Yesterday was her first date ever. Even I'd like to be really late. Jiro. Thanks Mina. Mina. And tell us, how did Kaminari behave on the date? I stepped on a mine in the conversation. Momo. You don't ask those things, Mina. Jiro sat down to eat with her friends. Then she started counting. Jiro. He didn't show up yesterday while chewing his cereal and playing a song on the living room speaker. Momo. I don't believe you, if he didn't show up. It wouldn't make sense for you to be so late yesterday. Mina. I don't understand. Jiro. It was Izuku. Momo. What do you mean suspecting? Jiro. Kaminari wasn't with me. I waited for him for almost 4 hours and he didn't come. Mina. Oh, I'm so sorry. Kyoka trying to cheer her up. Jiro. Don't be sorry, I'm really happy, you know. Momo. And why is that? Her answer was already being expected, she was already organizing the facts and had an idea of what she was going to say. Jiro. Izuku, he was my companion all night. Mina and Momo fell silent upon hearing about the incident and Momo immediately demanded answers. She simply recounted the events in a few details. Jiro. Momo. Mina, I mean I'm not going to lose to you guys. But I don't want to stop being your friends because of that. Mina, I know you were in love with Izuku before me, and Momo, I already know. Momo. So if you knew, why did you do it? Angry. Mina. I didn't know that. Momo on the verge of tears. Jiro. Everyone deserves to be happy, if my happiness goes away it's because I didn't fight for it, but I want us all to be happy. Murmuring. Momo. Mina saw how she spoke sincerely, what she had said about not losing her friends left them a little shocked, but. Momo. I don't understand. At that moment Izuku came down, yawning in his sleepwear. Izuku. What's up, why the scandal? Momo. And to think you betrayed me. Izuku. I never said we were dating and Jiro and I never gave you an answer. Look, you three are beautiful and have different abilities. I just don't know what to say, but if you start fighting, I won't give any of you three an answer. Momo. But what are we supposed to do? Angry. Izuku. I don't know, do you think I have it easy? I'm as surprised as you all are. I never imagined 3 such beautiful girls would fall in love with a freak while grabbing milk from the refrigerator. Jiro and Momo went to their room to think about everything. Especially Momo, who thought she had the advantage, but suddenly. Mina. Hey Izuku. Can I ask you a favor? With a delicate but strong voice in her decision. Izuku. What's going on? While looking in the fridge to see if there was anything he could eat. Mina. You promised me that one day I could touch your tail. Izuku. Yes, but if you remember I told you that you had to have a brush chewing a sandwich. Mina pulled a purple brush from her back. She'd already had the brush a week earlier, but given the situation, she decided to act before it was too late, or at least put up a fight worthy of her own. Izuku. I see, let me take a shower first and we'll meet in the living room later. Heading to the shower. Mina simply nodded, the usual nervousness of a girl in love. She sat down while she waited for her partner to finish showering, all the while lost in thought. Not long ago, Mina had practiced brushing in different ways. On her hair, stuffed animals, or even going so far as to try buying a puppy to practice on. Meanwhile somewhere else. Tamura. The orders were clear, we have to capture one of these brats. Although he named someone in particular. Seiko. Someone specific. What importance would a brat have? Tamura. Akugo, you gave the message like I told you. Akugo. We are not close enough for you to speak to me, upset at how they had spoken to him, and yes. Yes, I told him, although he did not accept, he seemed a little hesitant. Tamura. Undecided, huh? A stimulus is missing. In that hiding place, you could see their leader laughing while holding 2 photos of familiar students. They were students from class A1, everything was happening the way he wanted it to happen, just as he had planned. Back with Mina. Izuku was just getting out of the shower as he sat on the sofa. Mina. First, if you allow me, can I tie your tail properly? Pointing with a towel. Izuku. Please, as he turned around. The air was a little tense, an awkward silence felt in the air. While Mina she hummed a tender melody, while Izuku looked at the window waiting for her to finish drying him. Moments later. Mina. Well, I'll start, okay. Pointing with her finger slowly for Izuku to sit closer to her. Izuku. Whatever you say. Mina. Let me know if it hurts, gently caressing. For a while, she was afraid of hurting him, but little by little, she gained confidence. Her sweet caresses on his tail caused Izuku to get closer and closer. She could see Freckled's cute face while he slowly fell into a long sleep, or so it seemed. Izuku. The truth is I only let her do this so she wouldn't feel excluded, I didn't imagine she was that good with the hairdresser. Does it feel good? It hurt at first, and even though I tried not to express myself, she could tell by the movement I made with my foot. She was slowly calming me down. Not many people touched my butt, and I lived to tell the tale. The only one who could pet it was my lovely teacher. Well, she's not so bad at it that I can criticize her. It felt increasingly rich, this sensation gave me peace of mind. It was as if my problems were disappearing with each caress. I no longer wanted to resist. Now I'd just let myself go. Of Mina. Ah. When I started, sometimes because of my nerves, I would grab him very tightly, even if he didn't show it, I could feel his foot moving suddenly. As long as I was abrupt with my hand. I was so nervous about hurting him that I didn't realize the exact moment he came so close to me, it was so adorable watching him rest, even though he seemed to be slowly falling asleep. Honestly, I started stroking his peculiar face. I felt like he had stopped avoiding me and just let things happen. He looked so cute when he was sleeping. Vinpav. Mina. Hey Izuku, are you awake, whispering in his ear. Mina didn't receive a response from the green-haired man, staring at him intently. She let herself be carried away by the atmosphere and little by little, she stole a warm kiss from him. Izuku suddenly waking up. Izuku. Mina, what were you doing? Nervously, suddenly breaking away from the kiss. Mina. Well, if the others did it, what's wrong with me doing it too? Izuku. But the others did it when I was awake. Mina. I just saw the opportunity while lowering my head. It was wrong. Izuku then tenderly stroked her head while Mina blushed at her partner's act. Izuku. You know, your kiss, maybe. Was better than the others. While saying this, Mina couldn't help but blush while looking at the floor. Izuku. But that doesn't stop you from having a great complaint from me. While he went to his place, covering his face a little. The day was very short, or so it seemed. Momo spent her time studying the brochure on her quick, which Izuku had given her a few days earlier, and Kyoka, on the other hand, was desperately finishing her homework for tomorrow. Everything was very peaceful. The next day. Kyoka was deeply immersed in her own world, thinking hard about how to react when she saw Kaminari. But that didn't stop her from going to class. Momo simply watched, since she never knew how to help her. It was the first time that one of her classmates had gone through such a serious emotional situation in the classroom. Everyone had already arrived. Class would start in about 5 minutes. Mineta could be seen working on his homework, his adrenaline pumping. Meanwhile, Toru and Todoroki were making sure Bakugo didn't blow anything up. But what they could see was Asawa coming in with his sleeping bag, lying on the floor to teach. Asawa. Okay guys, let's start classes, he said, while Lita greeted him properly. At that moment a statement sounded over the speakers. Nezu. Please let the named students come to the principal's office immediately. Yaoyorozu, Momo, Kyoka Jiro, Mina. Have a nice day. Asawa. You heard me, go quickly or you'll miss most of the classes. At that moment, the three of them stood up while glancing at Izuku. He just watched them, since he already knew what was going to happen. In the rectory. Nezu. Sit down, as you know, the safety of our students is very important. While they took their seats. Momo. We understand that, but doesn't that explain why we're here? Nezu. Oh yes, it has a lot to do with it. Now tell me your relationship with Midoriya. Izuku. That question made all three girls nervous. Mina. Our relationship. Nervous. Jiro. We are teammates. While looking down. Nezu. Companions, huh? Well, sighing. Nezu. Eager for a report. Well, it's a complaint for you three. You know. They were stunned when they heard those words. They didn't know what the rodent was referring to. Momo. Reported. But for what? None of us has done anything. Mina. You're right. Who was stupid? Nezu. It was young Midoriya. The room became completely silent. Izuku had told them he would do it, but they took it as a total joke. They didn't know he was serious back then. Nezu. That's not all. In the report, he lists his complaint against the three as grape. Nezu. I know you're still young girls, but all three of you? Sighing deeply. Momo. We're sorry, but it was nothing like what you think. Jiro. Yes, what she said was just a kiss. Nothing more. Mina. Don't you think you're exaggerating? In the room, it became tense as a well-known hero entered. Almight. Yes, girls, we know it's stupid. The truth is, it's the stupidest thing I've read in that report. Nezu. We're going to cancel this complaint, but in exchange we want some information. Mina. Well, I didn't do my homework today. And this is a great opportunity to skip class and hand it in tomorrow. Almight. Not about that, young Mina, and why didn't you do your homework? Nezu. What we want to know is about Izuku's mental state. Jiro. Mental state. Nezu. We've been following a very peculiar trail. The young man has a very mysterious past. Momo. To tell you the truth, you've never talked to us about your past. Mina. Or maybe we never ask, trying to think like Momo. Nezu. Any information that is important. Let All Might or me know personally. Moments later, he ordered her to leave the room. All Might. What do you think? Nezu. Something doesn't add up. The girls arrived moments after Asawa's class ended, Mina on the other hand with relief giving Izuku a dirty look. He simply looked out the window giving a smile to nothing. On recess. Kaminari, approaching Jiro. Hello Kyoka. How are you? Jiro. Bad. The whole room began to watch that little discussion. Lita and Achako knew what happened. At that moment Izuku stood behind Jiro looking at Kaminari in an unfriendly way. Momo on the other hand grabbed her friend's hand saying. Momo. Let's go to the cafeteria. Hurry up, recess is almost over. Mina. Yes, quickly. I'm very hungry. Following her lead, they managed to take her away before Kaminari could say anything. Kaminari. Hey wait. At that moment Izuku stopped him by putting his hand on his shoulder. Izuku. Where do you think you're going? Kaminari. It's not obvious, I wanted to ask Kyoka about the date this Saturday. Izuku. This Saturday? You can't be that stupid, right? Bakugo, on the other hand, took out his popcorn to see all the action and attention that was happening in the class. Zero. Come on guys, there's no need to fight. Lita supporting from afar. Izuku. Don't get involved. Kaminari. I don't know what you're talking about. Izuku. She waited for you for 4 hours in the rain. He shouted while the classroom fell silent. Kaminari. What do you mean? Nervous. Todoroki tried to calm them down, but. Izuku. You are forbidden to approach her for the rest of your long life. With just one statement, the classmates who were watching began to stand up to calm Izuku down. Kaminari. And how do you think you'll stop me? Provoking Izuku more and more. Izuku simply calmed down, immediately sitting down and then taking a bag out of his backpack. Todoroki and the others were relieved, watching him eat peacefully. Moments later Kyoka and the others had already arrived at the classroom at that time. Kaminari. Kyoka, how is it? When he tried to get closer, he saw how something prevented him. It was like an invisible wall. Takeami stared at what happened, standing up and addressing Izuku. Takeami. How did you do that? Izuku. I don't know what you mean. Ignoring him. Takeami. Don't play dumb. Izuku. It's not what you think. I'm just using my quick. Kaminari couldn't get close to Kyoka. It was as if he were a magnet that contracted. Izuku just shifted the center of gravity of his quick towards Kyoka, causing Kaminari to be unable to get close. Todoroki and Lita sighed in relief, seeing how funny it looked. Knowing that there wouldn't be a death match. On the other hand, Bakugo cursed everyone for not getting punched. Triple date. Of Izuku. I don't know how I got caught up in this mess. Was it perhaps my incompetence for not speaking up when making a decision? Or perhaps I'm Hexy and just didn't realize it. These are the questions I've been asking myself all morning without stopping. Now I'm waiting for my first real date. The last one I had with Jiro wasn't exactly a date I had planned out in every detail. It was literally spontaneous. I arrived 25 minutes early from the scheduled time. I must admit I was worried something might happen, and I had to check the surroundings just as a precaution or out of discomfort from the people passing by me. The appointment was supposed to be at 2 p.m. and I was supposed to be there at 1:35 p.m. This day was going to be very, very strange for everyone, and the same for me. What awaits us? And there I was on a bench under the shade of a tree, waiting for the planned time to arrive. Vinpov. Izuku. How boring, I must have arrived only 10 minutes early, he said while looking at the sky. Jiro. Me too, although I must admit that the breeze is very soft today. There was silence at that moment. Jiro. Because you weren't surprised that I arrived early. Izuku. Because I expected it. Jiro. Come on. A little expression would set the mood, pouting unchangingly. Izuku. And tell me, where is mine? Changing the subject. Jiro. It must be about to arrive. And well, Momo. Izuku. What happened to Momo? Asking why she was mentioned. At that moment, the mutant girl with pink skin appeared, so cute. Hello everyone. Announcing her arrival. She had arrived 10 minutes before the triple date was due to start. She was very excited about it. Mina dressed phenomenally, to be honest. Her attitude didn't seem like it, but she did know how to dress in certain situations. Izuku. Now all that's left is Momo, sighing. Jiro. About that, Momo is going to be 10 more minutes late. Mina. How do you know? He hasn't spoken to any of us since yesterday. He spends all day reading. Jiro. That's why, if you didn't notice, the book was titled First Date and you don't know what to do. Mina. That doesn't explain why he was late. Izuku. I think Mineta had said something about that book, trying to remember about his wise words. Jiro. Well, what I wanted to say was that in the first chapter, it said about making your partner wait at least 5 to 10 minutes past the scheduled time. Izuku. And that helps us. Mina. Saying the phrase "I'm sorry, I kept you waiting too long." I had read it before. Izuku. I don't understand them. While they waited patiently for Momo to appear, Mina chatted about her plans for today. She was so cute as she explained about going to an ice cream stand and a nearby zoo. On the other hand, there was Jiro, who wanted to go to the arcades and a music event located nearby. Izuku. Come on, calm down, let's go get some ice cream first, then we'll go to the movies, and finally we'll go to your concert avoiding a fight from happening. Jiro. And why to the cinema? Mina. Didn't you hear it when we were armoring? Momo appeared and said, I would like to go to the movies tomorrow, in a very harsh way, so that we could hear her. Jiro. But that doesn't mean I wanted to go to the movies, does it? At that moment when they were talking about that person she had suddenly arrived. Momo. Hey guys, did I keep you waiting too long? Mina. We're just talking about you. Izuku simply sighed at the fact that his quiet weekend was over, but on the other hand, deep down, he felt a little happy to see them happy at the same time. He immediately stood up to start this busy day. Izuku. Jiro, what's wrong? Why haven't you gotten up from the balcony yet? Jiro. You don't remember, you have to carry me, you know already. Mina. That's not fair, it's just starting and you're already abusing it, right? Momo. She's right, I agree with her. We had decided that no one would do strange things, so that Izuku could decide. Jiro. Come on Izuku, like the first time, and if the three of us walk, one of us will be left out. Izuku. Well, approaching her so she could get comfortable on his back while his tail held her comfortably and gently. Mina. It's not fair. Izuku. Come on Mina, don't be like that. Heading to an ice cream shop while people murmured. Having two beauties around him was very rare. But having a young girl on his back broke people's molds. It was extremely rare. Mina. Izuku, why don't you choose the flavor of each one? Why see how you see us? In a mischievous way. Momo. It might work. Izuku. Okay, but don't expect too much from me. Izuku approached the vendor, who was laughing from afar. Izuku. Give me one strawberry, one vanilla, one blackberry and for me one bubble gum. Seller. Understood, here you go. Izuku. Well, here's Jiro, the more one is for you, the strawberry one is for Mina, and the vanilla one is for Momo. Momo. And now tell us why you chose the vanilla one for me. Restless. Izuku. I assumed you wouldn't like the chocolate one because it's too sweet, plus I think the vanilla one suits you. Momo was embarrassed to hear such a deduction. Momo. If you say so, it's fine by me. Grabbing the ice cream. Mina. Me. Now tell me why the guy from couldn't say the whole sentence. Izuku. Because of your hair. Then he started biting his ice cream. Jiro. And I guess Mora's is because of mine too. Izuku. Yes. Mina. So if there was a black ice cream like Momo's, you would have bought it. Izuku. Yep, completely normal. Momo. It's no joke, you know, I really thought you had analyzed mine. A little angry. Izuku. And I really analyzed it. Winking at him to make everything okay. The date continued as it should, Mina playing everywhere. The four were walking through a park that was very close. Momo was having a lot of fun, just looking at her face you could tell. On the other hand, Kyoka Jiro was relaxed, listening to music with one earphone in her ear and the other in Izuku's, while she watched how the others enjoyed the moment. Slowly the girls got to know the tender side of young Midoriya. He was tender, considerate and a good speaker to establish a conversation. Momo. Shut up, the movie is starting. Trying to put her hand on Izuku, which Mina noticed. Mina. You're supposed to hold his hand halfway through the movie, not at the beginning, silly. Momo. You know more than my book. They continued fighting until the movie started. The movie was good, entertaining, and although the plot was captivating for all audiences, there were three girls who didn't know what to do. On the right side was the pink-haired girl, nervously trying to make a move, thinking that if she was lucky, it could end in a classic kiss from every date. On the left was Momo, trying to remember what she'd read, though she was too nervous to remember everything in detail. And finally, Jiro was in the back seat. At first, she was upset that he was sitting alone in that seat. It was only fair in part. She spent the entire journey clinging to him, which, for the others, was the best decision. Well, I won't be able to fully enjoy the movie part instantly. But then. Izuku's tail fell into her lap. At first she thought it was carelessness on his part, but the moment she touched him, he simply let her pet him while he watched the show. Of Momo. And I thought it would be the worst idea we'd ever had in our entire lives. Maybe it would have been different if I hadn't shouted at that moment that he agreed to go out on Saturday, but it was the emotion that gave me away, not me. The day before this one, I started reading a book titled First Date and You Don't Know What to Do. It explained in detail what a formal date means. Having fun, having a good time, and of course, with effort and faith, I could get a kiss from her. I was late for the appointment, just as the book said. When I got there, for some reason, I thought it wasn't going to go well, just seeing Kyoka take advantage of our carelessness. Finally, the time for the movies arrived. According to experts, I have a 75% chance of being able to kiss him and take the lead over these girls, although I don't mind their company. Mina, for example, broke the silence and created a pleasant atmosphere for the walk through the park, and on the other hand, Kyoka, with her sarcastic comments, which were laughable, helped me. Then Pav. Of Mina. That stupid Momo almost got there first, asking me outright when we were distracted. Luckily her lack of experience helped us out back then. When I saw Momo reading that book and Kyoka practicing makeup, I knew I had to break my back and lock in. When Kyoka made that proposal, I thought Midoriya was going to refuse, apparently not. How annoying, and to think that we didn't do anything in the damn park either. I have to do something at the movies no matter what. The first moment we stepped into the theater, I suggested the idea of someone moving to the back so we could be comfortable. Eventually we'd do it with a game, but Momo sent Kyoka back. How terrifying, it's fair, don't you believe it? I know that in the cinema most people kiss, put their hands together, and the most perverted ones do. Ah, what am I thinking? Then Pav. Of Bakugo. Ever since that green-haired idiot threatened Kaminari, the room has become a little more tense, just the way I like it. Stupid Todoroki was born with 2 quicks, luckily I also have an extra one. That day I overdid it with that mud villain was where Almight saw my bravery and passed it on to me. The day is a good day to go out for a walk, no trace of rain, and everything is normal. How disgusting. I'll just stay watching TV as usual. Then Pav. Of Jiro. I was listening to Momo muttering something about going out on a Saturday. She had too much homework to pay attention to. Bored of watching so much TV, I got ready to go to my plane to finish the homework with Mina, who urgently needed help. Just then Momo shouted. When I said I was going with them on Saturday, Momo refused. It's not a question, it's a clarification. I'll go with you on Saturday, right Izuku? I added to my words to make my intentions clear. If Momo hadn't screamed with excitement, I think she would have won this round and could have even secured her victory. Ha. Too bad we're here. I remember as if it were the previous Saturday that I went out on my first date. Well, literally it was my first date the previous Saturday. The truth is I wanted to put on makeup, but eventually while I was trying to get Izuku to do it again, he flatly refused. You're beautiful with or without makeup. Those words encouraged me to go seriously and make the first move as soon as the date began. Then Pav. Mina. What a lovely scene. Snuggling up to his shoulder and linking her arm with his. Momo. Don't even say it, I nervously mimic her act like. Izuku. Girls, but it's a scene from Jiro, interrupted him by pinching his tail. Jiro. Just let them be hugging his tail like a pillow. Everything would be super good, but what didn't fit was that precisely in the movie, it was in the part where the protagonist was run over by a truck. Izuku just sighed and let it happen. The movie is almost over. Momo. Shit, I got distracted by grabbing his arm and forgot the next step. Mina. It's my time to shine, with this I will succeed. Jiro. I can only pet him. Izuku. And then Jiro's concert continues. I hope not too many people go. The movie was about to end. Momo was extremely restless, just like Mina. On the other hand, Izuku knew they wanted to do something, not only because of the atmosphere, but because Jiro stopped petting him and squeezed his tail more and more. I don't understand them, Izuku. Mina. Tenderly pulling at his coat. Izuku, aye. Momo. Pulling him harder. Don't pay attention to him, Izuku. Approaching gently. Jiro quickly stood up, pulling Izuku up. Jiro. The movie is over, smiling at the two who were trying that move. The light laugh was heard from the boy. It seemed he too was expecting something to happen. Momo. Wait, there's still something missing. Jiro. What? Thing. Turning around. Mina gave him a camera so Izuku could take a picture of the 3 of them. Maybe there was an event missing, but Momo and Mina wanted to save the sweet moment. Beginning of a feeling. Of Izuku. I have never experienced anything from someone besides my teacher. I have always feared other humans. Pain, agony, cries for help. That's what I experienced in my childhood, but now I'm here with 3 beautiful girls. I don't know what other people think, what they whisper behind my back, what I can't see is scary. They act in ways that make it very difficult to discover what they want, what they desire. Why did they choose me? Love. Do I deserve something like that? I've killed countless people for fun, or sometimes for practice. Then Pav. Night was falling, everything was getting dark to the sound of light music that was pleasant for the 4 of us. Mina, for example, took my hand, as if she were a girl in her first relationship. On the other hand, Momo intertwined her elbow with mine, creating a pleasant feeling in the environment. Kyoka just rested on my back, enjoying the show of that concert. As each song played, my chest began to hurt more and more. What are these feelings? Why do they hurt? They feel so strange. I knew I wasn't worthy of being with them. I've never thought about others, I've only worried about myself. But for some reason they kept popping up in my mind. Mina. Something's wrong, Izuku. She held my hand tightly, she was more observant than the others on this subject. Izuku. No, don't worry, it's just that I'm tired. It's been a nice day. Jiro? It's because I'm heavy, right? If that's why I can get off. My tail held her delicate body with more pressure, giving her the feeling that it doesn't bother me at all. Momo? Well, if that's the case, we can go to the academy. Momo always gave solutions to everything, intelligently thinking about others before herself. Izuku? If that's what you want. We can actually leave after this song. Jiro? No way. Let's go back, girls. Tightening her hug. Jiro's strong suit was her way of expressing affection, determined and a little grumpy. You could clearly tell when she was spoiling you. Izuku? At this hour I think the academy must be closed. Looking at his watch. It was at that moment that Mina quickly approached me, kissing me softly on the lips. I, on the other hand, passionately returned the kiss, losing track of the company we had. Momo? Ah, stupid Mina. Moving away. Momo? Of all the things we agreed to, you broke rule number 11. Jiro? Don't make a scene, Momo, it was just a kiss, jealous, just wait your turn. It was then that I felt a presence, it was similar to the one I had seen a week ago on Jiro's date. Izuku? We have to go now. Putting Mina and Jiro on his back, covering them with his tail. Momo? What happened? Without letting her finish her sentence, he grabbed her as if she were a princess, and without drawing attention he increased his speed, but this villain was fast, keeping up with Izuku's speed. Izuku? Just let me talk. Standing where there is no one. Why are you trying to escape from me? Have you forgotten our relationship? Izuku? Let me remember, as long as you don't tell me your name. We have nothing to talk about. Hiding his nervousness. I'm a murderer, just like you. Someone who seeks true justice, with a justified reason. Although we're not the same in that regard. Izuku? Your name, damn it, putting more rudeness into his words. I am the killer of false heroes, Stain. Momo? It's the one that was covered by Izuku's hand. Izuku? What does the great assassin Stain have with a mere rookie like me? Bowing slightly. Stain? Excuse me, don't bow down to me, someone like you doesn't need to do that kind of maneuver. The three girls remained silent. None of them understood why they were so close in this conversation. Mina? What's going on? She was covered by Izuku's tail. Izuku? Manners make the man, a very old saying, speaking to him gently. Stain? That's what they say, by the way. I'm here to find out your answer about joining us. Jiro? What do you mean, he will never go with you? He said in a way that Izuku can't avoid him. Stain? That's my brat line, I don't know why the great assassin is playing at being a student, pointing one of his swords at him. Izuku? Stop right there. Quickly shifting his gaze to the. Izuku? The League of Villains, huh? It shows that they are weak of heart, trying to keep distance between them. Stain? She started to raise her voice. Izuku? Well, back to your question. For now I'm not planning on joining them for the moment. You know, just my whim. With his back to her at a considerable distance, trying to end the conversation. Stain? You still can't find any sense in anything, right kid? Izuku? I may have found 3 reasons to keep this life, tightening his grip on the 3 girls. Stain? I see, disappearing at that moment. Izuku immediately activated quick, teleporting to the apartment door. Silence filled the room at that moment, but. Jiro? Good night. Quickly kissing him, it was a stiff kiss, placed on his lips still dry from eating that caramel apple, and grabbing Mina's hand. I wasn't going to leave without my kiss. These girls quickly entered, Mina dragged by Jiro, it was a desperate act by Kyoka to break the silence. Izuku walked towards the room, while Momo followed behind him. Momo? About what happened a while ago. Izuku interrupted. Izuku? Don't take it seriously. Going up the stairs. Momo stopped him before he could do it. Momo? Thank you for worrying about us. Grabbing it delicately. Izuku? What are you saying, I for you? Momo? I felt your hand shaking, always keeping your distance from him. Do you think we're blind? Do you think your training was in vain? Getting closer. Izuku? I'm glad it wasn't. Izuku put his hand on her shoulder at that moment, giving a feeling of everything is fine, then caressed her head and then gave her a kiss on the forehead. Izuku? See you tomorrow, opening the door to his bedroom. Momo? No. I won't stay behind them, not again, running like him, Reimakuen. Momo took a run up, pinning him against the wall, and then kissed him passionately. She was the only one who, during the kiss, gently caressed his pectorals. From the book. Note. Read about how to be a good kisser and you will drive him her crazy. Jiro and Mina listened excitedly from behind their doors, since they knew that she would be the most difficult to achieve. Izuku? Momo, trying to breathe air with her hand, she separated the kiss. Momo? How was it? Izuku? You almost killed me. Momo? Tomorrow we'll talk about what happened with Stain, until then bye. Embarrassed about what she did. Izuku slowly closed the door to his room. He slowly fell onto his bed, his mind giving out. Among them all, the rookie who was reading a book about how to go on your first date had the biggest impact on the boy. Izuku. Stupid. Falling into a long sleep. Jiro entered the room at night. Jiro's mind at that moment. When the villain appeared, it was like he grabbed each of us tightly. I was scared. I don't know anything about him. But there's no doubt that he worried. If something happened, he would surely have teleported only us fool. Besides, my kiss was quick. I'll just go settle into your bedroom and go out. It's in and out. At that moment she saw how Izuku slept like a rock. It was because he carried her on his back at all times. She approached little by little. She saw his beautiful face. A scar on his face did not scare her to caress it. Jiro, you have me worried, lying down behind him. She already had her pajamas on. Damn, it's so comfortable, I'll just stay a little longer. At that moment he saw a door open, hiding in the blankets. End of what Jiro thought. Mina's mind as she entered her room at that moment. It was every time he trained us, how his scars were noticeable. I knew he had a rough past, but I never imagined that someone like him had won my heart. Just see if it's okay, because of what I said before. It's just a matter of getting in and out. Why do you hide everything from us? Will you put up with everything? I knew that at the concert you were already upset by remembering something. Isn't that true? I just want you to let me help you. Someday you'll tell me everything. Sitting in front of him, he looks so vulnerable right now. Stroking his hair with experience. Making his way through the savannah, while Jiro, like a rock, became more and more nervous. Mina. I don't think they'll get mad if he doesn't find out sleeping in front of him. He immediately hid under the sheets when he saw the door slowly open. End of what Mina thought. Mind of what Momo thought when entering her room. I just go to his room and check that he's not mad about what happened before. I did go a little too far, but obviously, I wasn't going to miss out. Just as I enter, 4 slippers in front of the bed. Considering that Izuku wears socks. They are theirs. I saw 2 parts of the bed shake at my presence. It was Jiro and Mina. But seeing how Izuku slept like a rock, I didn't want to wake him up suddenly. You'll see. Lying on top of him delicately. Izuku. Momo. Is that what you're doing? Trying to look at her. Momo. You sleep resting on his chest and pushing him down. The end of what Momo was thinking when she entered her room. A look into the future. It was already late. My clock was chiming continuously. My mind was in turmoil. Yes, it was my first day at school. When I woke up excited. My nose noticed a very exquisite smell from the dining room. Izuku. Come down and eat, you'll be late for your first day. I can teleport to her dad. Yesterday I went to know the place to know the exact location. I screamed. The truth is I did not want to take the bus, and even worse, the train was extremely full. Izuku. What did I tell you about using your quick? Daughter of your mother. But dad, everyone in my class is going to show off their quicks. I'm going to look useless. I quickly sat down at the table to eat that delicious breakfast. Izuku. Well, use your mother's. No. I don't like it, and if someone thinks before finishing the sentence. Izuku. You should learn from your sister, she never complained about using her quick. But it's because she looks great. You don't understand. Her pink tail and her size. Her agility. I really disliked your comment. Izuku. If we're going for cool, your brother learned to use his quick without any problems. He's a lost cause. But I admit his song was kind of good, I said while eating a little faster. Izuku. Just so you know, your mother is the number 2 heroine in all of Tokyo. Using her quick. But before finishing my defense. Izuku. Come on girl. You have to know how to control the 2 quicks that have been given to you. Also if you don't use your mother's quick. If I don't use it. I became intrigued by what he was going to say. Izuku. You'll get fat. Wait, what? No. At that moment he pointed at my lunchbox and quickly pushed me towards the exit. Izuku. What I'm telling you is true. On the other hand, try to do some exercise, okay? Seeing him off at the door. Well. Izuku. By the way, don't forget to stop by your brother's office. And if you can use your quick to go to the UA Academy so you can have lunch with your sister. Okay. Yes, Dad, I do have time. Quickly, to avoid embarrassment, I ran to the bus station, which was just a few blocks away. But Izuku. This girl, and to think that I became a very overprotective housewife. I wonder what my past self would say to me if she sees me now. Haha, he would probably try to hit me. I headed towards the bedrooms to clean the whole house. While I was cleaning the house, I turned up the volume on my phone. This girl puts everything wherever she wants. Dirty clothes under the bed. Really? But to be cool she does use her teleportation. I saw my daughter's room. It was extremely messy, but what I noticed were posters of her favorite hero everywhere. I remember this hero is in the top 4 according to me. It was obvious that she liked him, this hero also has 2 Quirk like her. Indeed, the hero of the posters was Todoroki, a former classmate from the academy. She has become a fan of this hero, reminded me of myself as a child. I looked at her with nostalgia. Even though I had suffered a lot in the past, that no longer mattered. Those events were just ashes in my mind. And the girls were coming home late again. I sat on the couch staring up at the ceiling. I remembered killing every creature that had ever bothered me, the blood running through my hands, that rush of adrenaline. The battles, the pain of a great loss. As the clock ticked by, I remembered that moment where my whole life changed completely. That place where he met his teacher, his savior. Izuku. A quick visit won't hurt anyone. I got up from the couch, then dressed in casual clothes of necrous green color. At the times I try to use my quick, since that day I fought against that villain 5 years ago, every time I try to use it my whole body hurts, especially the place with the biggest scar on his body. It was on the side of his rib. Like old times, without walking. Izuku could be seen in the room, concentrating. How was it? First I visualized the place I want to teleport to. I began to notice a slight pain. Then I channel my energy and analyzed the time. His whole body began to burn more and more. And finally, I explode with my energy. No classes there. They start next week. Well, that's what the janitor said, and I believe him. At that moment his daughter appeared to announce that there were no classes until tomorrow. She saw how her father teleported away with difficulty. On the other hand, Izuku was successfully teleported, although the fall hurt. Consequence because he appeared 2 meters high from the place. Izuku. This was harder than I imagined. Rubbing his tail. Of Izuku. This place, a very old little cabin. He saw with nostalgia how the trees he had scraped were already cured by time. Closing his eyes. Come here, let's eat a great dessert. He delicately remembered, he saw in his mind some dialogues of his teacher smiling at him. He began to walk around the place as if it were his home, literally. Oh, look at this tree. I still remember it, it was where I practiced slowly stroking the bark. Suddenly the wind blew and he saw his teacher's grave. Sitting down next to that tombstone he began to speak loudly. What he didn't know was that there were people hidden listening to him. Izuku. Well, what can I tell you, master? I lost part of the powers you gave me for the greater good. Although I can still use my mother's gift, my chest still hurts when I use it. He began to tear up. I formed a super strange family, you know. I have 2 daughters and a son. My wives work all day, although I don't blame them. I looked at the clear sky. I stopped being a villain a long time ago. Remember how you hated it when I shed blood? Laughing. Well, the only time my hands have touched blood is only when I'm preparing meat or, wait, and that time my little girl teleported towards a building and didn't make it, scraping her knee. I laughed out loud. At that moment 3 figures came out of a bush. Momo. But what are you doing? Izuku looking at him tenderly. Mina. And I was hoping to have lunch with you at home. I get home and my husband isn't there. Jiro. Mina, look at the atmosphere. You always break it. Giving him a slap. I saw them smiling as they fought tenderly. I had changed. Maybe I was once someone who killed for fun, who murdered for convenience and without reason, but they gave me a chance to be a hero just for them. Teacher mom, if you saw me now, what would you think? Would you be proud? And on the other hand, to my past self. Don't worry, people lose their way in the search for their true purpose. I smiled as I stood up. Mina. I heard that Nora didn't have school today. She sent me a message that she was going to sleep over at the academy with Mika. Momo. Also, Jiro will stay in his studio to practice for his next concert. Jiro. I know what you think, but I'm not going to say it. I'm not perverted like you. Momo. AHHH. Did I hear the first one who got pregnant say that? Whistling. Jiro. But I'm not the one who creates obscene objects when we do it, and besides you have very crazy ideas. It had to be said and it was said. Screaming. Mina. Come on, calm down, it's not a contest, girls. I think you're immature. Momo. Shut up, Mina, if it was a contest you would have the prize. Not in front of my teacher's grave. Well, that means we have the house to ourselves. How about we go to a restaurant and then see what's going on, okay? I watched as they nodded with warmth. We walked slowly together. At that moment, I heard a familiar voice. Well done, that's what I heard when I looked back. Sadly there was nothing. I immediately went on my way with them. Vinpov. I still remember the day that changed my life. That day, which was it? Or maybe it was the day of the camp. Well, that day is where it all began. Back to the present. Monday morning. Everything went as Izuku planned. Waking up before the girls, he looked extremely vigorous in the morning. Without wasting time, he quickly went to shower carefully and head to class without making any noise. It seemed that they were exhausted from the previous day. Oh, what is that ray of light on my face? Mina exclaimed while she had her leg on Kyoka's belly. Kyoka. Mina, get off your disgusting enzyme leg. Momo. Shut up both of you, don't you see that today is my day off day off. That word buzzed in their heads, without a second thought. Momo. Stupid shit. Who didn't set an alarm, quickly heading to her room to get ready. Mina. Get out of the way, remember what Asawa-sensei said today was an important day. With a great deal of fuss, they managed to arrive 10 minutes late, but they arrived. Asawa. You can come in, but this is the last time I'm leaving you, signaling with his hand for them to go to their seats. Suddenly, Asawa announced a camp trip outside the academy. This was a special day. The entire class would be training with the cat-like pro heroines. Asawa. Guys, that's it, head quickly to the courtyard to get on the buses that will be waiting for them, don't do anything strange heading outside in his sleeping blanket. Momo. Izuku, what did he say, you didn't wake us up? Whispering to him. Lita. For those who weren't there, we're going to a 3-day camp to meet and train with high-caliber heroines. But that said, simplifying Asawa's entire speech, everything was excellent today. Izuku. Well, let's go, I really don't want to stand the whole way. Mineta. I do want to, with my hide I can see a paradise. Was hit by Momo. 15-hour time skip. Of Mina. The day was very exhausting, training intensively every day with Izuku was not enough. Now these girls overexploit us to the maximum. On the other hand, Izuku has changed a bit, he has opened up to new company. When I saw him talking with Todoroki and Mineta, it was something that surprised everyone. It no longer mends that aura that was felt before, that's good. Although I'm still worried about what happened a week ago, something is bothering me. The day passed without problems. Dinpav. Training and studying. The next day was more exhausting than the first, considering everyone was still strong. Momo. We'll finish quickly today, don't you think? Resting on a bench with the other girls. Sai. You don't even need to say it, Kiro. I still can't believe that Bakugo is getting stronger. It's like he has something up his sleeve, Kiro. Mina. Even so, Todoroki is not far behind, imagine a fight between the two of them, really. Jiro. What are you saying, Mina? Obviously the strongest here is Izuku. Ichako. Well, he never really fights, it's like he avoids fighting watching it get dark. Toru. Haven't you noticed how he doesn't look at people anymore? I mean, whenever I was near he put on an aura of on guard, it's as if my quick threatened him, and now it doesn't anymore. Momo. Well, everyone changes, don't you think? I mean, before he even skipped classes and now he's very punctual. It was at that moment that an explosion came from the forest. Not only that, Mineta came to the girls to warn them about a villain attack. Asawa quickly leaving the cabin. Don't separate. Help each other and find the others quickly. Heading towards the explosion. Elsewhere. Todoroki. Lita quickly, go with Bakugo, everything was chaos, Bakugo fighting with all his might against Dabi and company, while Izuku managed to rescue that child who was being chased by a very muscular being, obviously he killed him in a moment. Bakugo. Die, you useless bastard. Launching more explosions everywhere. They were radiating him between 4. Panta. We have to help him, quickly grabbing Mineta and heading to the cabin. Mineta stood up strongly. No. I think we have to regroup with the others. Besides, Bakugo is strong. Shouting so that the others could hear the plan. The fight was still going on, Todoroki kept his distance with his ice. While the girls fought with a Nomu, the fight was so hard that Toru and Sai were injured, fainting, while the other girls formed a circle around them so that they wouldn't get the final blow. Asawa with company. Managed to rescue Kiminari and Kirishima, who were fighting senselessly against 3 villains, I don't know their names. 5 minutes passed and the situation was burning. Tamura. So here they are. Entering the scene accompanied by Kurogiri. Momo. Stay away, putting themselves on guard. Ichako nervously grabbed her companions to escape if things got ugly. Kurogiri. Well, which of those brats should we take to the boss? Analyzing them. Tamura. The pink one. Lately she's been the one who's had the most protection from that boy. Kyoka. What are you talking about? Putting herself on guard. Grabbing Toru to go warn someone nearby. Mina stepped back, scared by what was happening. Kurogiri opened a portal and dragged Mina, but it was then that Izuku arrived to stop a scandal. Arriving with his bat, he tried to hit Kurogiri, although it was unsuccessful, and Stain got in the way. Stain. You were late. I was hoping you'd arrive sooner. Kurogiri had Mina in his hands, and on the other hand, Tamura was angry at the appearance of the green-haired boy. Izuku. Let her go, degrees. Tamura. I think we've been too patient with you. Our partner has already given you a clear message. Stain, kill them now. Stain jumped straight at Kyoka, but without hitting Izuku, he punched him in the side so that he was knocked out on the ground. Izuku. And I admire that you wait for me, now give me the girl. Tamura. Last chance Izuku. Izuku. How do you know my name? Putting Momo behind him to cover them. Kurogiri. Not only do we know your name, we know who you are. Tamura. Oh, I remember it very well. The screams you gave and no one listened to you, the heroes never arrived and yet you became one of them. Izuku. I don't know what you're talking about, calming down a bit and trying to look calm. Momo. What is Izuku talking about? Ichako. Shut up, Momo, scared. Silence abounded in that forest. Asawa had arrived with Lita and the kittens. Tamura. What are you saying, young Midoriya? Don't you remember how useless heroes are, they never arrive on time. It's a waste of time. Mina was babbling something. But Kurogiri was firmly covering her mouth. Asawa. Attack now was stopped by Izuku. At that moment Izuku gave the final blow to the villain Stain, who was on the floor, killing him. Izuku. I won't be your guinea pig again, but I accept your offer. Approaching him. Kyoka. What are you doing, stupid, trying to stop him? That's when Momo got in between Kyoka. Jiro. What are you doing, Momo, are you on his side? Momo. No. But if that's what he wants, tearing up. Jiro. Stupid. You were my first, was silenced by Momo. Asawa and company tried to stop them, but it was too late, they left thanks to Kurogiri's quick. An awkward silence among everyone present, a classmate betraying his classmates. A student kidnapped. Everything had gone wrong, not to mention the injured. A discreet deception. Time skip 30 min. At a time when everything happened, currently everything was silent. Todoroki and Bakugo had arrived at the meeting point, but it was too late. What happened? The monochromatic said calmly, as always without worrying about what others think. Sigh. It's not a good time to talk about Akiro heading to the cabin to check Jiro's condition. Which was the most affected? Bakugo. But what happened? Everyone is quite quiet. Where is that nerd and why he was stopped before he could complete his sentence? Toru. I think talking about that is a little awkward right now, come on, I'll tell you everything inside the cabin. The boys nodded, it was the first time Bakugo obeyed an order from a classmate. With Jiro and Momo. In Jiro's room. How is it possible that happened? I trusted him. I cried while Momo entered through the door. Momo. Jiro listened to me trying to stop her wailing. Jiro. And I thought he would be different, he seemed different from Kaminari. Momo. Come on, stop me, ball. Jiro. I even gave him my first kiss, we went to concerts together and we lived together, crying louder and louder. Momo. Enough. Grabbing her with both hands. What's going on, didn't you see? He has his reasons. The rich girl argued. Jiro had calmed down financially. Momo. Already, look what I have. Taking out of his pocket a paper note with a location. Jiro. What is that? Momo. Izuku gave it to me just before the assassin attacked, remembering what had happened. Momo. Also, I put a tracker on him, he was stalling so they wouldn't notice, he may be hiding something, but I know he's someone else with us. Jiro. And why did you let her cry all this time? You could have said it before, furious. Well, moving on to the others. We have to give the tracker to Asawa-sensei, the black-haired girl tried to think of a way. Jiro. And on paper, are we going to ignore it? Momo. No. What we will do is go to the director to find out more. The night was hot, ambulances had arrived to rescue the seriously injured, on the other hand news was circulating throughout the city, some students were taken to a nearby hospital, while the others were taken home. News. On the nightly news, a group of assassins attacked the UA Academy camp, the images we will show are shocking. I'm reporter McQuinn, what exactly happened? Asking a student from class A1. Kiminari. Kiminari. It was sudden, they cornered everyone, although help was immediate, there was a student who joined them. Student, did they infiltrate through him? Don't worry, your face will be completely covered. Kiminari. I don't know the details, but I can say it was Midoriya Izuku. Perfect. There you have it, betrayal in the academy. Murderers, kidnappings, don't leave. Somewhere else. Nezu. For God's sake, scold that student. Avoid the lectures, and Almight, I heard Asawa has some important information to discuss. Now go. That's when Almight left, and at that moment the girls came in. Momo. We have something to discuss. Jiro. We want answers now. They screamed at the top of their lungs while the detective, Nezu's ally, was shocked by their recklessness. Nezu. Detective, could you leave us alone for a moment? Detective. And you are going to accept your recklessness? Nezu. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't have the location of the League of Villains. It was those words that put an end to their conversation after he left. Nezu. I appreciate your collaboration with our department, providing us with information, what are you in doubt about? Momo. It's this address, when Izuku left with them. He left us this paper with an address. Jiro. We think it's another important place of the League of Villains or something like that, excited. Nezu. No. On the contrary, I don't think it's the right time to tell him. Momo. What are they hiding? Nezu. It's not time yet trying to hide the truth. What are you saying? He went with a league of villains, apparently he was part of them. Or did he just use us? And if he used us, why would he leave us in this role? He shouted, expressing the pain he felt at that moment. Nezu remained silent as they finished arguing about why they should know. Nezu. What's Mark? There isn't just an address, it's a hospital. Momo. Hospital? I searched on the internet and now it's a vacant lot. Jiro. Liar, on top of that. Come on, fight, coward. Momo. Kyoka, enough already, I know you're very confused, but that's not something to invite the director to fight about. Don't worry, I take out a folder with Izuku's mother's name on it. Nezu. Inko, the mother of your precious companion, we have been finding out what happened to your son for a long time, do you still want to hear about it? Momo and Kyoka still didn't know if that matter really concerned them, suddenly they remembered that he didn't want them to find out, he wouldn't write that to Momo. Momo. I think that she was interrupted by Jiro. Jiro. Please tell me, I know from the way he acts that he is not someone good after all, and in order to help him, I would like to know what I have to deal with. A moment of silence entered that room. I think there is no other way, Nezu sighed. Since he took his exams late, we've been investigating his past and where he came from. We learned that his father currently lives in the US, has a new family, and is very happy. But it wasn't all that easy. In the hospital records, we find that her mother died in premature labor. A rapid drop in blood pressure marked the fate of that family. Momo. But that was a long time ago, how did he end up getting involved in that? Jiro. Momo, let him finish, please continue and I'm sorry for interrupting you. Nezu. Usually I'd end the story, but after 4 long years, he was diagnosed with Quirkless at a hospital outside the city center. His father abandoned the boy without a trace. Well, we contacted him later and he hung up on us immediately. Jiro. And what happened to him? Nezu. The hospital was investigated years ago, apparently they did experiments with those patients who were terminal cases, after that we only have some images of what could have happened to the boy, showing 3 shocking images. Oh. Momo. But this is something else. What's wrong with people treating others like garbage? Nezu. Calm down. On the other hand, murders have been reported south of the outskirts, it was thought to be a large group of villains. Well, now we know it was Izuku. Midori is showing a blurry photo, but his peculiar tail that he had was clearly noticeable. Jiro. But that was 3 years ago. Nezu. And since then the murders started to happen, but everything changed when he entered the academy. The number of deaths has dropped by 30% throughout the city. Coincidence? I don't believe it. Momo. So, that means that even if he comes out alive, he will go to prison. Shocked. Nezu. Most likely, but if Mina comes out unscathed and no one is hurt, we can leave it as if nothing happened, even if she no longer studies at the academy, and he would have to fend for himself. Well, it's not like he doesn't already. The silence fell from the room. I never thought something like this would happen. The tranquility. Izuku's pav. Aside from finding myself in a tight spot and killing someone in front of them, I thought I'd give Momo a secret message. Well, she's the smartest of them. What I could never predict was the League of Villains' objective. Is Mina someone special? I mean, I like her for her attractiveness, but the goal of having the heroes save her is practically non-existent. If I left her to her fate, they'd most likely kill her, or worse, they might do things to her that I can't even imagine. That's why I agreed to go with them. As long as they notice my presence, they won't hurt her. Mina. You're a traitor. She screamed while tied up in the corner. She couldn't find the perfect moment to teleport her away. Mina. And I thought you were her mouth was covered by a Nomu. I had several opportunities to take her and the Nomu away, then finish off the stupid Nomu and get away. What would happen next was that guy accompanying the leader would chase us. I had my doubts if the heroes would arrive, and I even imagined they'd never come, like that time when no one came to rescue me. Vinpav. Tamura. Well, as you know, it's a very special day. We have the bearer trying to sound evil in his lines. Abi. All the trouble we went through because of a brat, seeing her. Hey, it's true that you are All Might's disciple. Mina. I don't know what you're talking about, but I have nothing to do with that egocentric person. He always cares about teaching those he thinks will be strong in the future. Tamura. What do you mean by that? Grabbing her hair with one hand. You have to be lying. About to hit her. Before he hit him, a peculiar sound started coming from the boy's pocket. Shit, they are close. What did they come with? Seeing the boss's reaction. Tamura. We knew you wouldn't betray the heroes, after all they are your girlfriends. We only brought you here to kill you or simply leave you unable to fight again. If you grew up with that power you would be a problem for us in the future. Pointing at Mina. Izuku. Wait, don't do it. Using my quick I managed to get in front of Mina. In the blink of an eye I thought my life would be over. The heroes arrived with an explosion while I stood in front of Mina. To avoid it was too late for me. Tamura's blow pushed me against a wall where I collapsed. I fell into a bar which almost went through my entire left shoulder. 5 min later. Pav. Where am I? That's Momo's voice. She's crying hahaha just like Kyoka. Mina weighs a lot. I was wrong, after all I am useless as I have always been. My life is just a hindrance to others. I failed. Momo. Come on, wake up, damn it. Taking that rod out of my shoulder. I screamed to tell them I'm still alive. At that moment I saw them hugging me voraciously. Mina apologized, but truth be told, it was never her fault. Did they really want me to stay alive? Izuku. Come on, it's not that bad. I said while grabbing my shoulder because of the pain. Kyoka. You always want us not to worry, you always hide things from us, but that's not the solution. He shouted looking at me. Momo. We know and we told Mina while you fainted from the fall. We have to talk when we get home. Mina. I'm just relieved that you're not a traitor. She looked at me through tears. I couldn't help but smile at those statements. The world may fall apart, but it doesn't matter because they will hold me up when it does. Izuku. And tell me, what happened while I was fainting? 5 minutes, was it true? Momo. It was 23 minutes to be exact. Apparently they are fighting All Might against the boss of the League of Villains. Mina has nothing to do with them, and that's why after that explosion she went out dodging the Nomu that was holding her. Kyoka. Some of our friends came to help, although now it's just up to All Might. So it's none of our business now, we'll just leave without doing anything wrong. Although I think I'm a wanted criminal now. We left without a trace. Well, we watched All Might take care of everything, or so it seemed. Mina. Oh gosh, I don't think he'll lose, right? Saw the giant television where a large crowd was watching the fight. Kyoka. Don't worry, we're talking about All Might, he wouldn't lose a fight. Looking scared at the screen. Momo. I think we'll go help. She looked at me. They're still young, they can improve. But I don't think they could attend a fight like that. On the other hand, they'd probably get me expelled after all. It was when All for One pushed All Might. Without thinking twice I looked at those girls who were watching the fight in amazement. I didn't want to be a common hero who saves everyone, I just wanted to see them happy. All Might just needed a little time to recover and deliver the final blow he needed. Bait, what a joy. I barely teleported, leaving aside those who matter most to me. All Might. What are you doing here? He said while pushing him to the side so that the blow from that villain wouldn't kill him. Ofril, Abriction. Who the hell, in that state? Do you want to die? Izuku. I didn't come for the, if this fight is lost, I'll never be able to see them smile again. The crowd stood there blankly, watching the villain fight. Izuku simply refrained from defending, his condition was too bad for each blow. It was one more second for All Might to prepare his final blow. Momo and the others were returning to the place to get help. They didn't make it in time. Ofril. You won't win, your bad is too far away, without friends by your side it's your end. He looked at me in one way. With one motion, I caught his blow with my entire body. Holding his hand tightly, I watched as my body felt weak, blood from my mouth, everything fading away. It was then that All Might struck hard, ending the battle. Minutes passed. Authorities surrounded the area while paramedics and rescuers gathered. Almost fainting, I walked aimlessly, visualizing the officers circling me. I knew that if they caught me, I would be imprisoned. Using my quick lightly, I escaped from building to building, badly wounded. Even on the verge of death, I didn't want anyone to help me. I went through the crowd. Asawa. Send the available heroes to catch him and bring him here. Nezu. Don't worry, I'll look for him. Although I think there's already a small group that found him. We owe that boy a lot, we won't let him die. Although he will no longer have the future he hoped for and there will still be villains in the future, I don't think he will ever fully recover from this. Nezu. Future. What happened after that? Did you die? That high school girl asked me. Izuku. No, I didn't die, but my character changed a lot that day. I started to care about people, for example your moms. But what happened next? How did you lose your powers? I wonder. Izuku. I didn't lose them, my body just can't take it. I can actually use it, it's complicated you know. I answered calmly. Izuku. Although, I can fight with everything I have in me. Just one more time, I'll wait for you to enter the UA Academy. Just in case something comes up. Winking at him. I watched as she smiled at me so tenderly. Of my 2 daughters, she's the one who most resembles me. Life has changed a lot since I understood the meaning of protecting someone. Just thinking about what happened next. Past. Momo. Are you sure you would come here? Running with the 3 girls. Kyoka. I'm sure, she won't have anywhere to go. Desperate. Avmina. When I realized it was too late, he still wanted to fight. He felt guilty for his previous attitude, afraid of the future. Izuku came away injured from that fight, well we went after him to catch him. He teleported shorter and shorter distances, dripping more blood. Well Kyoka assured him that he would go to that cabin where he met his teacher, he had a lodge, it was the only place where he would feel safe. Vinpov. I just have to rest and I'll be fine, it's just a normal wound Izuku stuttered as he lay down on that particular bed. The girls entered slowly, so as not to scare him. Well Mina approached him and tenderly said. Mina. You're going to be okay, it's just a scratch while watching Momo call an ambulance. Just leave me here he fainted. Afterwards, they took him to a hospital while they talked with Nezu about reaching an agreement so he wouldn't go to prison. He simply agreed to it and as soon as he recovered, they would release him, as if he were a scared little animal. Future. After that it's Ikri too. Said Izuku while pointing to the door. But dad, you still haven't told me how you ended up here. Making a funny scene. Izuku. Well your mothers didn't like the idea and when I recovered I escaped from the hospital for a while. And that. See that you still have more secrets, tell me PLS, it's for an assignment. Izuku. I don't think so, young lady. But well, one more fact and that's all, okay. She became serious as she drank her orange juice. Izuku. When I escaped from the hospital, I stayed at your grandfather's old house and lived there for a while. They kept track of me and eventually we lived there for a while. Izuku. That's simply what happened, although the true story may be more tragic, in short it is that. Oh come on, I thought another villain appeared and they fought together disappointed, she headed out the door to go to school. Izuku's pav. As long as I cross my fingers it's not a lie, right? Well, I didn't lie at any point a man can keep a secret from time to time. Looking at himself in the mirror. My life is so much fun lovely wives and 3 cute daughters, now it's time to make dinner so they can eat well, motivated. I don't want to be a hero to the world, I just want to be someone my family knows I'm a hero to them. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching, if you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day bye.